Hello, friends. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show, to the shit show bullshit. All right. All we do is talk and tell every motherfucking thing. You ain't safe, wrongdoer, damn it. All right. Come on and join in if you like to come on and see what the fuck we had to tell on your ass, wrongdoer. You're more than welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, if you're trying to see like what my next move is gonna be, like, oh my God, what else? What's she about to do now? I'll tell you to your face, ho. Bitch, it ain't much else to do. 'Cause you are on the way to prison. Yeah, yeah. Don't get it twisted, boo. You about to get your number. Yes, you are. And you're gonna be in the R units first. When you first get there, reception, that's where you have to go to get your number in case you didn't know, dumbass fucker. Know why you picked the join join everybody at the prison. Oh my God, you're gonna have such a good time. Okay, anybody that's on here that's lurking and just trying to see what the fuck a bitch about to do next, because you can't figure out how I know everything that you did and how now I could just bring it all together and then how you fucked up and there's no way out. There's no way out. Yeah, but I told you the whole time along the way. See, people, public, here, boo. I told them the whole time, stop fucking with me. I tell everybody. I've always been the same for years and years and years. Yes, I have, ever since a child. The same way. Mhm. I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't give a fuck about shit. I'm gonna tell you to your face any fucking thing that needs to be told. I don't care, okay? Because it's true if it's the truth. I'm not a saint. I haven't always been the perfect being that I am now today. I haven't always been just like Jesus till now. I'm not even just like Jesus now, honey, okay? But I'm trying. I'm trying to do the best I can to just do right. That's it. I'm just trying to do right and do right by others, do on to others as I expect them to do on to me. I'm not fucking with you. Don't you fuck with me. I'm not invading your privacy. Don't come invading my I'm telling you now, don't come invading my privacy. I done told these motherfuckers 100 goddamn times. I'm telling you now, motherfucker, don't come invade my privacy. Don't come invading my privacy. I'm telling you this. This one I gotta go back through, but you don't want to do it, boo. Yeah, and the big mother effer is in a nice safe place, and I dare you come by my shit. Yeah, I said I fear for my life, and I don't want to have to pull that out and everything, cause my grandbaby right here. This not attached to anything right now. This is fine. I can show this because she's it's not in anything. It's safe. Yeah. There's a lot more of these where this came from, by the way. I said, stay away from my home and my family. All right? For any of you bitches that's on here, motherfuckers that stole my shit, stole my 15,028, stole my life, keep fucking with me even now today, and my family. Yeah. I don't know, but people, yeah, I really genuinely, just am trying to go into a court and get my fucking grievances redressed from people that have harmed me as a result of their actions. I've been harmed, and their actions were actually deliberate, intentional, ill will, and wanton, with malice and unconstitutional motive at that. Egregious, atrocious, outrageous actions, in fact. Why can't I get my grievances redressed? Anybody else in the world could, right? Now, Algernon Marbley took that away from me. I can never, ever, ever in life until the day I die ever petition a court if anybody does anything to me ever in life. I could never. Algernon Marbley did that. U.S. District Court Judge of Ohio Southern. Mhm. And so did Sharon L. Kennedy. I could never, ever, ever, ever petition Ohio Supreme Court for anything whatsoever unless I asked for leave of the court, where I've already asked for leave of the court, based on their fraud and their particular mandate, and I sent the leave actually registered mail. But what happens is when they don't like what you're saying in your pleadings, even though your pleadings are meritorious, they're bona fide, good, in good faith, and all true, they run interception. Mhm. Do you see on any of my court cases, the Ohio Supreme Court, where there's a filing that shows that the court received my motion for leave? I sent that registered mail. That's what Robert Vaughn, the clerk of court of Ohio Supreme Court, mutilated and destroyed. Yes, he did. hmm it's not filed in any of those cases. And really, all of those cases literally should be consolidated because all of them really is grounded in fraud on the court and RICO crime schemes, white collar organized crime, public corruption, federal grant loan, and other sponsored program frauds and swindles as well. It's all systemic corruption. It's whistleblower retaliation. It's gang stalking. I am a targeted individual. hmm hmm Now, since going public with everything, I think maybe 2 weeks ago was the last time someone came right here in my driveway and literally like parked behind my car. But I was already in the window recording them, and I posted it on Twitter. hmm hmm They're all real stupid. I mean, I don't really understand. But yeah, we're armed here. Here you go, boo. And I absolutely do fear for my life. So public, I let you know on every platform that I've ever been on. I fear for my life. My family is targeted because of the different things that I have uncovered and revealed and exposed, but really inadvertently, because I didn't really know all of this to this extent was going on. And trust me, it goes far deeper than this, I'm pretty sure. Or I wouldn't be faced with so much retaliation. And what is believed is going on actually in the family courts with the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, domestic relations, is more on the trafficking side of things. hmm hmm And with Benita Ritas and Lachelle Stroud and Aaron Hansen and Paula J. Copeland. Because what they tried to do with my middle son and my son's case with my granddaughter, and that's Columbus, Ohio, Franklin County, Court of Common Pleas, domestic relations, Benita Ritas, Lachelle, and Stroud, that's the judge and the judge magistrate. That's case 24JU 5837. They turned his case that was nothing but a mirror. He needed a piece of paper to show that my granddaughter resides here with him. My granddaughter is 5, and she's always lived with my sons from the day that she was born, the day that her mother birthed her. That's all he needed because in order to enroll her in a particular school, which is a Spanish school that her speech therapist recommended because my granddaughter's nonverbal autistic. She's gastalt. So eventually her language base will come about and she'll be speaking just like me and you and everybody else. It's a different way that she processes, but she definitely has a large language base. A highly intellectual one at that. So she does say some things. hmm Far advanced too. But we're getting her the treatment modalities that she needs to bring her um, full circle to understanding and knowing and comprehending what she's actually saying. She's a repeater, but there's lots of things that she says will blow your mind in terms of um, her vocabulary. And she can read without really anybody telling her anything about any letter or word or anything. She can literally just look at something and read it. Like I have something in the bathroom. It's like, be the change you want to be in the world. And she knew it. She just was like, be the change you want to be in the world. It's actually called something. It's pretty much one of her gifts, but um we just need to make sure that whatever she's reading, because she can just identify things and read them, that she can comprehend the meaning behind what she's able to read. Very, very, very smart girl. Thank you, Jesus, for her. But Benita Reedus and Lachelle Stroud, Paula J. Copeland, and Aaron Hansen thought that they were going to come and seize my grandbaby and on some fuck shit. And they also thought that they were going to be able to utilize the court as another mechanism of trying to segue themselves into my home environment and closer to my family. And I already said I'm a whistleblower and I'm under attack, and no one is to ever come near my family. Never. These are the governmental tactics that they'll do. Okay. So they'll search you up and they'll know who you are and anything that you got going on. They're going to infiltrate it and they're going to make everything seem as if it's normal business practices, standard operating business practices as usual. This is just how court proceedings go and everything like that. And everything's going to look great and fine to you, public lay people out there. But that's not what it is, not in this particular instance. And I'm not the only one that this has happened to. And until you understand and know the background and people come forward and tell you what it really is, and then you'll have the insight, then you'll be able to look forward when you're going out on these public records and you're seeing things. You'll say, "Oh yeah, I see. I see what she's saying. Oh yeah, it makes sense because now I know the background of what she said. Oh hell to the no, like yeah." And anybody that's about the right thing in life should not have any complication or issue, rebuttal, or refute relative to individuals coming in to a court, plaintiff or defendant, coming in to court and letting a neutral tribunal take a look at what facts they're presenting, the material triable facts that they're presenting, and make a fair, just, impartial decision. You want some more sausage? Want me to make you some more? What was that? You want some more sausage? Huh? You want some more? I'm gonna make you a little bit more. Like I got some right here, but after this, you want some more too? Hmm. You want more sausage? Yes or no? All right. Yeah. Do you a couple more? I'll do you a little bit more. Uh, but yeah, this is the hang out, friends, and chit chat, and enjoy each other's company and share like a journal talk. So when I was on TikTok, I still am, but my phone is so jacked up, I haven't really made any new videos on there. I'll probably make some videos on this computer and then upload it, maybe. My thing on there was it's just journal talking. I just journal talk. I utilize these virtual platforms to talk out loud about my life, about anybody that I know and care about's life and things like that. That where if you get the information, maybe it might be interesting to you. You might find something comical about it. You might find something within whatever I say to be something similar to what you're going through, or especially if I offer tools, tips, and education relative to how I actually handle the particular situation or how I'm going about handling a situation currently that might help you put into your armoire of ammunition, right? If you got to go through the same fuck shit that I've been going through. Damn near all my life, honey. Damn near. You know? I said, I don't know what the hell somebody in my family done, or my mom or dad's side, or whatever the hell, for me to get the what is it, the bad end of the fucking stick. Like, what the hell? But like I said too, I haven't always been the best person in life either. I haven't always been a saint. Back in my younger days, whatever. I ain't never took nobody out, no fuck shit like that, but I wouldn't as nice as I am now. And God fearing and, putting others. I've always loved others and stuff like that. But in them younger days, teenage days and shit, something else, honey. You better shut up. I ain't your fuck. Mm-mm. Ooh, I wish I could go back on them days and change some of the shit. Um, but that's okay. I've asked to forgive me for this. It would just be dumb shit, stupid shit, where it's some developmental bullshit I needed to get my shit together, pretty much. And I did. Thank you, Jesus. Now, what was my pivotal um moment that I look back on and I can say was the rationale for change? My daughter. I had my daughter. So that responsibility, I think, helped me get my shit together and wanting to be an example for her and not doing dumbass shit or heading down the wrong path that was going to end me up dead or in prison or some shit like that and super shit. Hmm. So that was a pivotal moment and trying to walk a straight path since, and also education, going and getting educated and things like that. Hmm. And I literally am a lifelong learner. Never stop learning. I'll never stop seeking information. That's what I do. And I have to. Like, it's an aid. Hmm. Yeah. So, yeah. Yep. Hmm. I have 2 degrees from Columbus State. They're both associate's degrees. One is just an associate's in art. One is associate in applied science, microcomputing, and I have a certification as well. And went along with that, that's hardware. You had to take a couple additional courses. It's hardware, software installation, and management. Um, yeah. Then I have a bachelor's degree in nursing. Hmm. I retrieved that or obtained that within 3 years in advanced placement nursing program at Mount Carmel, which is the number one top nursing school in the land and in the world, and I love it. And they taught me very well. All of those teachers there were, most of them anyway, diploma nurses. And they really went to school with the nuns, and they were very well disciplined. And we had to be very well disciplined as well. And some of them were militant, but it's a great structure. And I loved it, and I hated it then though from some of them. And I was like, "Bitch, you better get out my face!" Like, excuse me, you ain't talking to me like that. But actually, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me in life. And it is part of why I am the way that I am, and it's part of why I don't allow anybody to steamroll me. I'm that way anyways, from just my family dynamics and just my makeup, gene wise. My entire family is like this. Nobody's going to allow you to run over them. Nobody. Not on my mom's side, not on my dad's side either. It's not going to happen. And that's not something anybody can change in my family. There ain't no motherfucker in my family that's going to let you run over 'em. No, it's not on either side. Mhm. And then so the schooling with those teachers that were that way just reinforced it further. A very, very matter of fact. Very. And but there's nothing that I'm saying that's a lie. There's nothing that I'm saying that isn't true. I don't have to sugarcoat shit for nobody. I don't have to skin and grin in your face. I don't have to do shit when it comes to the business of the day. I literally am about the business of the day. I'm about quality. I'm about effectiveness and efficiency. I'm about following the rules. I'm about quality improvement when necessary. I'm about reevaluating on a consistent basis to see what's working and what's not, and going back in and revise it and put in place what fucking needs to be put in place to make this shit work. I'm not about no fuck shit. Anything that's unethical, unprofessional, criminal, none of that. I'm gonna tell on you. I'm gonna come and tell you to your space. Bitch, what are you doing? Why did you do that? I'm gonna tell on you. Yes, I will, to your face. So, oh hell no. What's this? I know you just didn't. I'm gonna tell on you. What? What you trying to? You try to say somebody took some. Girl, I know you went up in here taking that fucking buprenorphine over here, no fucking Mary Haven from these patients. The patients come and tell me, um, you know what? I don't know, but like, oh girl, I'm supposed to be on like 12, and she like gave me 4, and I tried to tell her she got an attitude and shit. But I'm supposed to be on 12 milligrams. And like, I'm gonna tell on your ass, and then I'm gonna tell the motherfucker, the head motherfucker, you need to go for a drug test. Everybody does. Yeah, let's all go. Anybody, any motherfucking nurse on from fucking people nurse any drug, that's who did it. Just go get the test. That's a true story. That really happened. Bitch was in there stealing motherfuckers buprenorphine. People are on protocols, all right? It's very serious. That's why I said people are taking advantage of vulnerable populations. Now, no, would nobody want to believe no patient that's got addiction, substance abuse. He lying. He just saying it because he wants some more. That's how people do it. They don't want to believe individuals in a vulnerable population because of these labels and stigmas and shit like that. Just because somebody's on some damn drugs or whatever and they need help doesn't mean they're lying. I don't like it. And I've been seeing it for years and years and years of people in these particular populations getting abused. And I'm not going to allow it. No, I'm not. And I haven't. And anybody that's in any of these fucking populations will tell your ass too, bitch. Okay? Don't let nothing happen with this video where motherfuckers see the shit. Because anybody that know me, they say, oh, yeah, well, that is how she is. Everywhere I go. And I'm not doing nothing to nobody. I'm not starting no shit. Don't start now, it won't be none. They start the shit, but then they can't handle it. When you fight back and you know your shit and you can back your shit up, you got proof that you can substantiate. It's sufficient if you ever get to any type of fucking court. All you got to do is authenticate the motherfucker with a sworn oath of affirmation under penalty of perjury any fucking way. The motherfucker telling the truth, don't put that on the court record. Most of the time. There are some that lie. Now, in the case where they stole my money, 15,028, I think there may have been one person who put an affidavit, and that was Karen Gaster. She's a liar. Her name is Karen Gaster. She's a senior counsel for Aetna Resources LLC. Karen Gaster knows and knew, just like they all do, that I'm the rightful owner of the balance that's owed in a Title VII Civil Rights Act of 1964 employment discrimination case grounded in race and disability. Aetna Resources LLC and CVS Health are racist. They have racist employees. The company itself can never do anything to anybody, right? Because it's just an entity. It just is. It's the people that make companies and things like that fail. It's the people and their character and their particular actions. It is the people's mistakes, right, on these jobs and shit like that, usually in leadership, all right, that create their own liability, multiple liability at that. But they also create a liability vicariously for their employer by acting that way. And the employer should never ever back up individuals like that. But that's what they end up doing. Right. And that's not good. And that's why the culture will never change. That's why you're not going to ever get rid of racism and things like that, because people will fire an individual that you really can't speak up and speak out versus really taking a look objectively of what is going on and ensuring that the appropriate actions are taking place towards the true culprit, the tortfeasor, or the individual that is harming another. Okay, so if you are bothering someone that has an alternate identity, if you're bothering someone based on their race or nationality or their disability, did I say that already? Or their age or pregnancy or what any of those protected classes might be, if you're perpetrating different types of violence on the job, or you know if it's some type of SA, or you're just harassing and bothering people all the fucking time on the job because you believe that you're in a position or a role of management or executive leadership and that gives you the power and authority to do that, you should not be on the job. But what is happening, what has been happening historically, it's been ongoing and it's likely to continue because it has been already, is that these individuals in leadership, your supervisors, your managers, your CEO, your CFO, whoever, executive leadership, like your vice presidents and all this type of stuff, they're taking the role, the title, and abusing it. All right. And that's the same thing that's going on anywhere. Where you're talking about even the court, the judicial system, the judges, the judge magistrates, and things like this, they're abusing their power and their role. Yes, they are. And they're taking on the position of slave master or their God, or they could tell you this and tell you that. Really, it's about all these different personality disorders. It generally boils down to mental health. Everything is mental health. And you'll find that people that do these types of things to others, target them, abuse them, misuse them, and then play victim, they're narcissistic. They have those types of personality traits. They're borderline fucking psychopaths. I'm telling you. All right. And then they don't want to take accountability for none of the fuck shit that they're doing. And then what happens is they get defensive and they get upset and they retaliate when you hold them accountable. but you're holding them accountable based on their very own actions and what they opted into willfully, knowingly, and voluntarily of their own free will. Is what they did. And then it's like when you get caught, you instead of correcting the behavior and never doing it again and putting something in place, like a quality improvement plan for yourself. Okay. Like, motherfucker, you need to get a copy of the damn Institute of the Healthcare shit and put you a quality improvement plan in place. Okay. Like immediately, rapidly. Okay. All right. Go ahead. That shit works. Plan, do, study, act. Let's get it. It works. You can put it in place for any fucking thing you're doing in life, not just your business practices or your own personal fucking life. Anybody can benefit from an improvement plan, honey. Self actualization. All right. I've been working towards that from I don't know how long. Okay. And everybody needs to be working towards self actualization. If you don't know what that was, then what that is, that's your motherfucking homework. Start incorporating it into your life. Self actualization. It's critically important. All right. So I'm not that one. I'm not that bitch. Okay. I'm not that hoe. I'm not none of that shit. Okay. I don't give a fuck about shit. But when it comes to the work of the day, I'm a damn good worker, honey. I exceed expectations on any motherfucking job. I don't get bad performance appraisals. I don't get none of that. I'm a true motherfucking leader. And that is the expectation that I have in any supervisory role and otherwise as well. I do play and I do joke and all that type of stuff on jobs, but it's a time for that. It's a time for that. And anybody in any job, especially nursing, that have followed under me as far as precept and anything like that, they know that I'm very laid back. I'll just be chilling, cooling, whatever. But when it's time for you to learn something, all right, it's time to get to it. Okay, especially when I had the issues and the complications and the problems with airheads, a bunch of airheads working in the prison. There's no airheads can't work in prisons. Mm-mm. Motherfucker, you gonna get killed. You act real dumb. You gonna get manipulated, and you gonna have a pin stuck inside of your motherfucking leg. Something's wrong with you. Stupid. That stethoscope gonna be wrapped around your goddamn throat and tied into a whole knot. You wearing them damn long ass earrings and necklaces and shit. You about to be dead all up in the prison. She's stupid. Like these bitches. These hoes. I'm telling y'all. Like, what? It take a certain type of motherfucker to work in a prison. And an empty head space cadet. Get on back on Mars. Look, get on back on. Take your ass on back up there somewhere and be drifting around like I don't know where I'm at. I don't know. I'm in a prison. Dumbasses. Yeah, these bitches are stupid. hmm I had a little girl one time. I told the story years ago on some other shit. I was making videos and stuff. This girl, she was really nice and really sweet when she was heavy set. But honey, she ended up doing something. I don't know if she got a bag. What do you call it? Gastric bypass or what? But honey, she had lost that weight. She was a very pretty girl, anyways. Beautiful blonde, hair, platinum blonde hair. I thought she was very pretty, and I loved her personality because she was just the sweetest little thing. I thought, but when after she got that surgery, she had lost that weight, honey. She thought she was looking good. She thought she was this shit. This bitch attitude changed to like what? Like motherfucker, you don't look that good. Don't get slapped, bitch. Okay, like bitch, out of here. hmm But yeah, she turned out to be a very nasty individual. She lost that weight, but she was a fucking dummy. I was like, girl, what she was doing, there was a what it is, people um public people take my kindness for weakness because I do play a lot. I joke a lot. It's innate. I be goofy and be silly, a little too fucking silly. My humor is along the lines of like Tom Green, Jack Black, Larry David, like I mean really like out there. What do you call Anthony Jeselnik, um, Corey Holcomb, like Martin Lawrence, like I'm in that realm of I don't give a fuck, and it's nothing that um I'm gonna be offended by, and I like those types of jokes and things like that to where I could see where others could get offended, but it's funny and no harm, no foul. I like to joan, I like to crack on motherfuckers. I'll talk shit about your ass, bitch. Yes, I will, but you can talk about me too. We can get on each other's ass. Yeah, that's fun. It's funny. It's just being silly. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just jokes. This type of shit I like. But I play all the fucking time. But I will switch up on you when it's time to say, take care of a patient or something going on really with the work of the day that's critically important. And you really have to know how to set those things aside. But because I'm so silly and goofy, people take that for granted and they try to take advantage of that. And then they try to overstep my boundaries. And then they see my other side and they don't like my other side because they don't know. I have another side. I'm actually just like, hey, boo, how you doing? Shut up, girl. Shut the fuck up. But let me see that you did something to the patient. I'm be like, excuse me. I know you ain't got them leads on his chest with all that damn hair on it. Where you about to put them? Get over there and shave his chest. How you gonna get the right reading? They'd be mad. I only had to say that once to her, Dumbo. She was over there with them fucking leads. I'm thinking like, where have you been, huh? Coming straight out of nursing school, you should know how to even put leads on. I understand if you ain't got your IV sticks all the way down yet because you need more experience on the job for that type shit. But putting the 12 leads on, like, you don't even know how to, you don't know you're supposed to shave a motherfucking chest hair off? We in trouble. And you in a prison, huh? But I was just like, I'm over here because I just know she know how to do the EKG and shit. Somebody called for the chest pain. I'm over here in the cabinet getting other shit. I can't even remember what I was getting. I look, I'm like, she's like, these aren't sticking. These, I don't know. They won't stick. This is like the third pack. I was like, girl, you better shave his chest. So you have to shave his chest, girl. Like, I'm really like, what? She's like, oh, well, I don't even know where the razors are. I don't know. All that goofy ass, all that goofy shit. You can't do that. You that might work somewhere else. You can't be goofy. You can't be airheaded. You can't. You have to be able to think on your feet like this in the prison, motherfucker. It's life or death. It ain't no playing. You can get killed just that fast. Being so stupid. Yeah. You didn't know? Where are you, hell, bitch? Fuck. Playing and goofing around. I don't know where they are. I said, well, you better get to know it. You better get to know it. All right. They're over here. They're under lock and key. Razors, anything like that's under lock and key. You know, the only thing that might not be under lock and key, but you need to keep it fucking secure is a pen or a damn pencil, because they'll take that and kill you with it. Some of them. These motherfuckers are so stupid. But yeah. So when she came over there, I said, it's over here. I said, um, and what these young folks don't understand is going into the prison because that's one of the places that will hire you straight out of school. You don't really need any type of education. It takes a certain type of individual, and if you're not that type, if you really don't believe that you can handle it, you really are putting yourself at risk. You could be easily manipulated if you're like a really unique type of person, just going through life like Google a beep, Dr. Spock in it and shit like that. You gonna get fucked up. They you gonna be the motherfucker bringing the phones in. They could probably have phones now. I don't know. I see motherfuckers with inmates with the phones all the time now. I'll be looking at their TikTok video. They be on TikTok. I said, hell no. I said, they on TikTok. Yeah, they be having a good time. I said, uh-oh. They be having a good time in a prison. Any motherfucker. I don't know what y'all thought. Motherfucker, they got flat screens and everything in a prison. It ain't what you think it is, motherfucker. They got whatever the fuck. Huh? And at the state prison, if they got money on their books, they get whatever the hell they want. They get separate magazines or whatever the hell they want. They don't just have to get that fucking commissary. They get whatever the fuck they want out of their magazines. And in federal penitentiary, don't have no money in there. What the fuck are you doing whatever you want? Just tell grandma bring you fried chicken and the lining of her coat up every now. Some fish or something lining of the coat. Slide it to you. Better pay attention. They have everything you dumbass motherfuckers have out here. That's why Brian, are you on here, Brian Spitz? You'll be fine in there. You'll be fine in there because you got money. You're a lawyer. You're going to the federal penitentiary. You and Trisha and Greg Schumacher and Chris Brown. You're all and Alex Frondorf, all you hoes. Yeah, all y'all Dave Yost, Mike DeWine, all y'all gonna be up in there kicking it. Hope y'all can have like some little meetings and y'all can be acting and playing and faking like y'all still in public office if you want, like putting on a show for the rest of the audience, the other inmates. Y'all can be on the stage in prison, putting on shows for them, plays and everything. Yeah, they're probably gonna make you anyway. Some of the inmates, because I'm sure they remember you when you fucked them over in court. How many of you fucked over Big Head Little Bill Algernon Markley? How many motherfuckers you lied on? Bitch, and case fix of shit, motherfucker, who's in the federal penitentiary. I can't wait for you to come, honey. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, all y'all motherfuckers will be shaw shanking it. Yeah. Hell to yeah. And writing up motherfucking pleadings and motions, legal researching it the fuck on down for free. You're gonna have to give back now. You're gonna have to give back. You motherfuckers. You put cases on all you motherfuckers. Oh no, I'm melting. I'm melting. That's what you hoes is gonna be saying. Hmm. Yes, and Trisha Brayla, honey, them bitches in there gonna love you. They gonna love you. Look you up. I was like, damn, I was like, look at this bitch's titties. They gonna love you. Mhm. You got big ass titties. Oh my God, them other girls in there gonna be like, ooh. Mhm. But some of them girls in there not gonna like you at all. Because you got that long platinum blonde hair and you got the big titties and all that type of stuff. They're gonna feel threatened. They're gonna come over and they're gonna box your titties off like titties only fucked up. Girl, they gonna wrap your titties around your neck. Mm-mm, bitch. Yeah. I was asking on something else. Bitch, did you buy those motherfucking titties with my goddamn money? Did you buy them mother was it down payment money on your titties? Did Brian give you your cut of my motherfucking money that y'all stole and shit like that? You wouldn't put it down on the titties, bitch. Fuck you, Trisha Breedlove. I can't wait until you're in prison. Mhm. And Brian, I told you, there's no matzo balls. They don't even get grits, so you're not about to be sitting there making like knockoff matzo ball soups or none of that shit. Huh? None of that. I hope they don't slit your throat down there at Chow Hall. You know they do that a lot too. Yeah. Um, just keep it real. Just giving y'all the tools to education so you can watch your back. Somebody's gonna come down there with long sock. And they're gonna put all those hard ass little square soaps. It's gonna break your skin out. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to use that expensive soap, aloe vera. You ain't about to be ordering none of that shit, boo. You don't get no lotion. Hmm. I don't know. They might give you some lotion. I don't know. You can always go to MedBay though and ask them for a triple antibiotic packet. Use that as your grease. Always talk about black people that use grease. And black people's ashy motherfucking wait till you get there. And everybody knows that you're racist. Everybody knows that what you did to me. Yeah, trust me. Inmates got phones now. I'm sure they already know. They're like, there go Miss A. Somebody fucked with Miss A. Hey, I tell them, when they coming, y'all. Somebody fuck with Miss A. They gonna fuck y'all up. Happy birthday. Yeah, I don't really know. But I could tell you this. When you're a fair individual and you work in a prison setting and things like that, yeah, it's not about being an inmate lover. That's not what I was. I just am an individual that believes in respecting others, Not trying to judge another individual, not trying to be an executor or adjudicator over anything that they had going on with their motherfucking shit in their life that I didn't have shit to do with. I worked in a prison as a nurse. It was just my role to give care to the consumers of that particular um, business and fair, unbiased, non-prejudicial. How you say it, non-prejudicial, an impartial manner, uphold the rights and not get into what did they do and what did they look what they this that the other that continue to inflict harms on to anybody or misuse and abuse them or do anything like that's not my role, it's not my position. I don't ever do that. I would never do that. And if I see you doing it, I'm going to check your ass and I'm gonna tell them this is not okay. If it was me in a prison, I wouldn't want nobody doing me that way. And if it was you in a prison public, you wouldn't want anybody doing you that way. And for anybody like me that's working in there to have the awareness of a motherfucker abusing, neglecting, all right, you, I mean, emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever it is, and not speaking up and speaking out and saying something about it or revoking any of your rights because they feel that they can because of their role or position as a captain, as a lieutenant, as an officer, as a nurse, as anybody working in a particular bounded institution, thinking that because you're there as an inmate for whatever you did, that they can do whatever they want to do to you, continue to sentence you, as now they're the judge, they're the executor, they're the dictator. They can keep on, they can put their hands on you, they can beat you up in handcuffs, they can do whatever the fuck. No, no, it's not okay. No, and for anybody that has, and believe me, people, anybody and any and everybody that ever has had awareness of these types of things, not just in a prison setting, but anywhere in a nursing home, in a school, in a daycare, in your home environment, whatever it is, you know that these things are going on and you're not doing anything about it. Trust and believe something is going to absolutely circle back into your life. It's going to cause you such tremendous hurt and harm and pain because of what you did and how you allowed someone to be hurt and harmed, and you did not do anything about it. At least report it anonymously. Report. Speak up. Speak out. You cannot do these types of things that keep on happening. Okay, but I understand the flip side of it too, on why some people don't. Because again, when you speak up and speak out, especially when it's types of heinous and ominous types of deal going on, criminal types of things that can really, really get people a lot of time. They're going to do any and everything that they can to stop you. They're going to silence you, and they're going to come after you, to come after your family. They try to kill you, all that type of shit. Some motherfucker trying to run my son off the road right here, come flying down the street. He was able to juke them motherfuckers up. They're the ones that flipped over and shit like that. I hope they died, because it's not a human being. To me, these are demons. Anybody that does the fuck shit that these motherfuckers are, they're not real. Just what that girl was saying. These are demons. Motherfuckers from the underworld. They have to be. And I don't have no level of respect. I don't have no remorse. I don't have any empathy or sympathy or compassion. Nothing for none of these individuals that I've named in any of these court cases at all. Because guess what? They didn't have none for me. For my family. They took everything from me. I have nothing. Mhm. They will come for you. Anybody that's ever gone through this to this extreme, you know that if they're going to take your employment, they're going to take your education. If you have any education types of endeavors, I already have a lot of different things in place that you just can't come and take. Like I said, I have those associate's degrees. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's in business from Ashland University. I did go to Capital University Law School. I went to for 15 months for legal nurse consulting. That was another great thing that the Heavenly Father had me go into to prepare me for what was really coming, though. See, I can look back now and I can tell. So I went there for 15 months, and that's legal nurse consulting. You can get a certification there, but you don't have to have one to do consulting and stuff like that. Then I stayed an additional, a separate program that they had was life care planner. So I stayed another 6 months after that, and became a life care planner. I did take the test and pass for a certified life care planner, but I let that lapse. It lasted for 5 years. It was $500 for the certification. I didn't really feel that that was worth it. I believe that they need to take that out. That's just a money making scheme. I don't believe that you have to have an actual certification or anything to do that particular role or anything like that, just like you don't for legal nurse consulting. I think when you come out, the curriculum itself has provided you with what you need. $500 for the fucking certification bullshit. I don't think that's necessary. Honestly, you can literally look at the entire life expectancy of the individual that's been involved in a catastrophic injury that's resulted in a disability and or a fatality, and you can do cost projections and you can project out throughout their entire life expectancy um, different types of cost associations and things like that. And you'll find life care planners very beneficial in the realm of law for malpractice types of attorneys or personal injury attorneys. Really, really for malpractice attorneys where they're dealing with big gun injury cases where someone's life has become a new normal for them. Drastic new normal where big time money is on the line. That's your life care planner right there. Life care planner is an absolute expert, and they can be actually called into court to testify as an expert and charge about $500, $600 just to present into court because they have to defend the life care plan for an individual that's been harmed. So Capital University did equip me with that expertise. I love Capital University Law School. And legal nurse consulting as well, Capital University Law School. And now that I look back on those great attorneys that were there, the attorneys facilitated both of those programs. Mhm. I really appreciate it. And there was one lady I said before, and something else I was on. She said that that was her goal. She was going to equip us to be one hell of spitfires out here if ever we had to do anything for ourselves in the legal arena. She said that, and she did. And she was one hell of a spitfire. They all were. It was probably only a couple male um attorneys that came in and taught. Somebody came in and taught about insurance and workers' compensation types of claims, social security disability types of claims. Um, Taught about that. Then the guy came and taught about contract law, and I think he was talking about, did he do trust law? He was on contract and insurance too, I think. He was a very good attorney as well. These are like adjunct types of professors. He was so great. And one guy loved him so much. And I loved how he always would say, and one would posit. He would say that all the time. It's like, so such and such, and one might posit. I was like, I'm going to take that term. Posit. I use it a lot. That's what I did. I listen. I pick up on terms and love terms. I like that one to use it. You'll see it in legal arena. Wow. Anyways, but I love it. And also, I love relative to somebody at Mount Carmel, a teacher in nutrition. She would say that all the time, honey. She wore it out. I was like, ooh, she wore that out. So, ooh. Mhm. And I couldn't quite put it together. Like, how can I put that together? Like, she's like, yeah. And then such and such relative to such and else. I had to process it. It's taken me a while. I was like, how can I use that in my, what can I do about my life? What I want to do? How can I write something like use that? And one day it came to me. And now I got it down pat. Ooh, everything, every other line. I mean, saying that relative to positive and positive. Those are two of my favorites. What else? Relative to positive. What else? I don't know. I love terms. And I will write them down. Wow. In case law, when you go and you look at Supreme Court, especially um, their opinions, you can see, you could tell the seasoned expertise. You could tell how they're writing these things. They're just like, wow. It's just like, whoa. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. Please never change. Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court justices, please never change, never change. Remain the same. Stand on the Constitution. Okay, please. But there's a lot of terminologies in those case laws and things that I pick up on. I say, wow, I love the way that that judge said this. And it's like for these reasons I dissent or whatever. But if you're reading, like, wow, and I highlight certain things and I say, copy it, and I put it somewhere, say, what does this mean? What do they say? I break this down. I'm like, oh, I get it. Ooh, I got it. Mhm. That's one of my strategies also. What I do is I take what these cases and these people are saying in these cases at the higher court. And if you can get it from the highest court, that's best. You take what they said and their opinions and things like that, and you make it work for you. You twist and turn it around. You throw it right back in whatever you're doing to make it work for you. To where the same thing that they fucking said over here, this particular case, is exactly why they need to rule similarly in your shit. Or you can twist and turn it around like that, or and paraphrase, or you can literally quote it. You can say it just like this supreme law of the land, or this whatever Supreme Court of the land noted in whatever the case is, quote about whatever amendment or about whatever federal constitutional right or law, just like how they stated here. In the instant, same is applicable. And this particular court should rule similarly. In fact, you make it to where there's no fucking argument. I don't know about what you got going on. I'm not a lawyer. Sometimes I aspire to be. I know that I could be. I would be more like a civil rights for vulnerable populations. I would do um, lots of pro bono type of stuff. Mhm. For people that are like in the position that I'm in or whatever, that don't have a voice, that have been targeted, that literally are telling the truth. They stand on the truth. They've been harmed. They're not lying. And people are coming after them, and it's just not true. And well, ultimately, all they're trying to do is get grievances redressed. But at the same time, at least in my particular instance, what I do is, because I know it already. Anything that I'm going through in life, or my children, or anything like that, that I had to stand up and speak out about, that got them pissed right now. It extends farther than just me and my family. It's been going on for a very long time. Lots of people have already been harmed. I'm not the first. I'm not the first. My sons are not the first, and shit like that. But I'm gonna be the last. My family's the last to go through this shit. This is it. God said. I didn't say. And I don't care again what anybody has to say about that. I'm telling you this. I literally have to get up and do certain things, or I cannot rest, because something or somebody keeps bothering me all the time. Like, hey, you need to get up and write this. Okay, they just put this in on you, so what you gonna do is this. Get up now. And I'll still be trying to lay down. Like, I said, get up now and do it now. Get it and write what I told you now. Go, go, go. And we'll be like standing over my shoulder, writing everything, looking at everything I'm doing. I can't see them, but they are. They're like, all right, no, no, and we'll re-race. What I said, I'm telling you, I'm like, or I'll type the whole thing. I was like, ooh, this sounds good. All of a sudden, it's like, and erase it, or it'll take my screen off. I'm like, what happened to the shit? Mm. Only those, only the people that this happens to could ever be like, yeah, oh my God, girl, right? Okay, you have to go through it, or you won't believe it. It sounds like sounds crazy, but it's true. But other people go through it too, and yeah, so mhm. And it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so crazy that all these individuals just would not. They won't give up. They won't stop when these are hands down win cases that's going to send them to prison for a very, very long time. So I don't understand why anybody would jump on the coattail of that either. Literally in the 15,028 grand larceny criminal conversion of my property, that is equated to embezzlement and money laundering. There's a whole check that exists. Yeah, it's a frivolous, fraudulent remittance advice, which is a negotiable instrument. There's an account number on there. All of that exists. It's easily traceable. It's just on the Citibank draft by their account holder, CVS Health Pharmacy Inc. I don't have any allegiance to them and them to me, or I don't have a contract with them. I never authorized or consented, implied, or expressed for any hold or seizure or control over my equitable property. They don't have power of attorney. So how were they able to pay 15,028 to the Spitz law firm on November the 7th of 2023? Who are they? They weren't an employer or anything like that named in any cause of action or charge, EEOC charge, Ohio Civil Rights Commission charge, and I also have a OSHA whistleblower retaliation charge as well that was getting ready to be paid out already, as a matter of fact. Who are you, CVS Health Pharmacy Inc.? Agent for CVS Health Stores? I didn't know you. I worked for Aetna Resources LLC, which is a subsidiary of CVS Health Corporation. All these have different EIN numbers. Do you see the games that they play? CVS Health Corporation was actually who hired me. I was a CVS Health nurse, but I didn't find out that really, genuinely, the employer was Aetna Resources LLC, because that's whoever's on your pay stub is your actual employer. I didn't find that out until it was litigation. So Aetna Resources LLC is the name tortfeasor in the Civil Rights Act, 1964, Title VII. Mhm. And they agreed to pay me an overall settlement directly in total, mhm, entire sum, because they know I'm the rightful owner already. But the reason why they didn't is because Richard Diageo, Footner Medicine PC, and Salvador Lopez of EEOC were in cahoots and collusion trying to place me under duress and coercion and threat to sign something saying that I would pay Spitz Law for $15,028. I'm not contracted to pay them anything. They didn't do anything. They don't have any actual work. And if you know anything about interpleader as well, you know that in an interpleader, you have to have a lien, number one. Um, also, so a lien, levy, or an attachment bond. Because in a pleader, the lien follows a fund. So you have to have the funds that are in question safeguarded in an IOLTA or escrow or something somewhere where it could be a holding with a fiduciary title attached to some bank account somewhere where everything can be tracked in terms of transactional history and so on and so forth. None of that exists. And why? Because it's a money heist scam scheme. It's money laundering. It's embezzlement. There's nothing I have to prove about that. That's very easily verifiable. Like anybody, like the comptroller, Securities Exchange Commission, in fact, Federal Trade Commission, or anybody like that, IRS, ICE whistleblower. Mhm. It's very easy. These people are going to prison on that alone. Mhm. The people who actually perpetrated the crime, masterminded it, and did all of that, and did this frivolous, fraudulent filing in the courts and all of this. And then each and every court and its actors, federal and state, that aided and abetted and continued to be co conspirators in the cover and concealment, misprision of a felony. In fact, it's true. There's no getting out of it. So I don't even know why they wanted to do whatever they're doing to try to keep things from the public. It's going to come out publicly anyways, at some point, because it's going to be a criminal case. You can't get away with this. That's what they did. But these individuals in these courts, like the federal and state actors of the court as judges and judge magistrates, however, they will undoubtedly hold you accountable. But one thing, public lay people, if you had went and stole 15,028 from someone, grand larceny, mhm, and you went and reported it to a prosecutor's office or something like that, they're coming to get you. You would have been arrested by now. You would have been charged. Yeah, absolutely. But these are individuals that are above the law. That's against Magna Carta, though, right? Even a king can be sued or held accountable. Yeah, they did it to Trump. Why can't? What's so special about Brian Spitz and Trisha Breedlove, Grace Schumacher, Chris Brown, and all the conspirators like Sharon L. Kennedy and Patrick DeWine and Patrick Fisher and Melody Stewart and Jennifer Bruner and Joseph Dieters of the Ohio Supreme Court and Robert Vaughn, clerk of court? What's so different about them? They're covering up a felony, not just of my money, uh, and the fraud on the court and the frivolous filings and all this unlawful activity and unethical types of bullshit, judicial misbehavior and misconduct, criminal, corruptive patterns of practice that's historical, ongoing, and likely to continue. RICO, these are gang members of an organized crime scheme organization, separate, distinct enterprise, primarily made up of bar guild members and other court-related officials and things like that, quasi-judicial and otherwise. And it also involves those corporations and businesses, it might be nonprofits and foundations that they actually network and partner with as well. And it's usually the leadership, the vice president, like Susan Villillo of Adam Border, Franklin County, and Wendy Williams, chief operating officer at Southeast Mental Health in Columbus, Ohio. And there's always a handler. The handler with that situation, with those two executive leadership individuals, is Lisa Pierce Riaz. She's an attorney for Epstein Barr. She is the one that is the handler. She runs the interference. She has 1 foot out in the public sector, fucking with them because she represents Southeast Mental Health. And I told on them about the Medicare fraud claims, which the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division does know. And they didn't do anything about it. They know about the HIPAA violations, not only of my son's data, but another lady, initials YH. I still have everything. Where Wendy Williams sent me the lady's medical information, sent me her first and last name, which was in the subject line over an unencrypted email. But don't you learn about this at work? Don't you learn about this at work? That's a security risk, right? It's a security risk. Now you just gave out somebody's personal identifiable information to a layperson. Me, I'm on the other end. She sent it to me. It's not by coincidence, though. God made sure she did. So I can hold her accountable because that's what I did. That's some female out there, patient, that doesn't know that I have her medical information, mental health, sensitive medical information at that. I got her phone number. I know her diagnosis, why she was under any type of treatment over here. I know her unmet social determinants. I know she don't want to go to no goddamn food pantry. She don't like Sylvia's ass, who's an employee over there. Wendy Williams copied me on an email to some guy named Rich Gilmore. And I told both of them, why do I have this? And I told Rich Gilmore and Wendy that was the second time Wendy Williams has sent me something to the fucking email because she's not checking the extensions. She said, oh, the first time, oh, I'm sorry, there's another April that works here. Well, you need to be checking the extensions. What she fuck around and do? She sent me somebody's medical information. When they got discharged from Next Gen, a whole text that the lady, the patient, actually sent to Rich Gilmore was in that thread still in my fucking email now. I can't show it because it has the girl's name shit that her phone number on. But they get mad when I stand up for people behind the scenes. And I say, this is a violation of standard care. This again is another example of clinical guideline violations. This is a HIPAA violation. This is a high-tech data security breach violation. You literally have to report when you do stuff like that. So did they report it? I don't know. But their human resource person, I can't remember her name. I have it. It's something like Melissa Miller or Wendy Miller or something like that. Human resources. She's like, she sent me a message telling me to delete it. You can't do that. Nothing's ever deleted. Don't do that. You have to report it, which I did. And they got pissed. Everybody's pissed. But Arthur Salazar with the Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, Human Health and Human Services knows. He knows about the Medicare fraud. He asked about the Medicare fraud specifically. And I did tell him that Ohio Attorney General Nidra Davis is a fraud investigator who came by my house with her colleague and stood right out here with all the evidence and print out of all the claims, submissions, the coding that have been submitted to Medicare and have been paid out. And she named off all the people that were sending things. She was asking me, like, do you know Nate? I can't remember what Nate's last name was. What about Nicole Smith? That's a nurse practitioner. Abul Hassan, that's a doctor over there. Hmm. Hmm. And she was naming people like Margaret Hitty and Catherine Goldemar. They're over there billing for shit my son doesn't know anything about. He never participated in at all. And Medicare has paid them. That is Medicare healthcare fraud, fraudulent billing. It's false claims. I don't have to lie about shit. And what's her name? Lisa Pierce Riaz. What she did was she got into connection with her butt fucking buddy Maureen Duffy of the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas Probate Court in case 616530, and Jeffrey D. Mackey, the judge and the magistrate over there. And what they did, they conjured up a fake frivolous court proceeding. Wendy Williams and Lisa Pierce Riaz and Susan Villallo of Adam Border, Franklin County, they filed a fake frivolous complaint against me. And they said I was neglecting duty to my son as the guardian. And that's all I do is advocate for him. It's them that's neglecting the duty. See how they twisted and they turned it? Because I told them too, if anything happens to my son, I'm going to hold you accountable, especially if he ends up having seizures back to back to back and convulsions and things because they wouldn't give him his medication. You can't abruptly stop somebody off an antipsychotic because they can. They can convulse uncontrollably and die. So they tried to flip it around on me. So like if anything happened to him, then they'd be able to show, well, she was already neglecting the duty. You see, it's all the game. It's all the trick. It's case fixing. They did it on purpose. But they didn't know that I know how to fight back. And I'm going to turn the tables back on them and put them on task. Yeah. And so when I put motion to dismiss, so I answered their complaint, I put motion to dismiss Maureen Duffy as tactics. They ignored it. Then I put another motion to dismiss after the hearing that they set on December the 13th, 2024. I went to the hearing, but the complainants were not there. So when you file a complaint, you have to show up because you have the burden of proof. I don't give a fuck what court you file it in. You are the complainant, you're the plaintiff, you become the plaintiff, whether it's probate court or not. You have to show up because you have to prove that. I shouldn't have to prove anything. They didn't show up. Lisa, their attorney, Lisa Pierce Rios, didn't show up. Susan Villallo of Attleboro, Franklin County, Columbus, Ohio, vice president, she didn't show up. Neither did Wendy Williams of Southeast Mental Health, outpatient, publicly funded clinic, mental health clinic, that they kicked my son out by no cause of his own and said that he can't go there. Mhm. He ain't done nothing wrong. Why can't he go there? But they're getting federal funds so that any and everybody off the street in the community could come there and get help. But he can't. He hasn't done anything wrong. I'm just advocating for him. But my advocacy has caused retaliation against him, but also me. So it's patient abandonment, number one. He doesn't have access to health care and stuff like that. And they did it all deliberately and intentionally on purpose. Hmm. Because he has an advocate. And they don't want me to keep seeing and knowing and what all they're doing. And keep holding them to task and keep filing complaints and telling. Lisa Pierce Riaz and Eric Horvath or Melissa Kaufman, one of them wrote in their report because they started some type of frivolous bullshit ass investigation. Um, Lisa Pierce Riaz said that I just keep harassing Southeast. So and filing complaints. Well, my complaints aren't frivolous, so it doesn't matter. They're all true. It's Medicare fraud, it's false claims fraud, it's all of that. Why didn't y'all show up since you have so much fucking proof? Yeah, they didn't know that I knew how to fight back, and now I'm holding them all accountable for everything that they did to me, and they're still pissed, and they won't leave me alone. Hmm. I don't have to lie. I'm not vexatious, putting all that fake shit on my name. Hmm. That's what they did. Whenever I catch them all in fraud, everything's fraud, people. Everything, public, everything is. And once you understand, I know you get the taught how you be able to see it all. I see it in everything. Just like Ashland University, I already said they're fraud. They kicked me out of that program. Then what they tried to do, again, it's the same. They tried to act like I never had enrolled. But I had already enrolled, already started the courses. I was supposed to go to this place called Third Street. There's a lady out there named Candy. We was texting back and forth and all that. She's the one that was telling me like, well, this is a preceptorship. You won't be able to engage with the patients. You won't have access to the electronic medical record system. You literally just have to just kind of watch and see what's going on. I was like, really? I was like, this is supposed to be like clinical hours. And she's like, no, this is not what this is. She's like, yeah, we won't do it um that way. I was like, they're saying it's preceptor hours. Like they literally were saying like you have to get all this paperwork, you have to get all this type of stuff because our sites won't allow you if you don't have this and this and that because these are clinical hours. It's not clinical hours out, it's a shadow, but they're actually putting into their accrediting body. This is Ashland University, to their accrediting body that the pharmacy one, the pharmacy two, and the residency one and two courses are actually true clinical hour preceptor hours where the students are learning and having to engage with patients. You have to have assigned patients. That's what it is. If you it's a preceptorship, you literally have to have assigned patients. You have to work in a capacity as if you are actually a family nurse practitioner, doing what the nurse practitioner is doing. They're overseeing everything that you're doing, but they're signing off on what you're doing. You have to have access to electronic record because you have to document. You have to do everything as if you were in that role, but that was not happening. And I was calling them on the shit like, what is this? Then they were saying like half of the time, Rachel Hoffer was saying that's a faculty person. She's being sued in the U.S. District Court of Ohio Northern. The case is the case is 1:24CV1773. That's Jonathan Greenberg is a magistrate. I don't authorize him to be on there. He's a magistrate. No, I need an Article 3 judge. This is federal question. This is false claims. Get your ass off my shit. What he's doing is the same thing they do in all of the other ones. They try to act like I'm not pauper status. They try to act like I'm not indigent. And they keep on saying, oh, like my first pauper form is not sufficient, it's deficient. You have to put another one in, or you need to pay the fee, or you're not going to be a. I don't have to pay no fucking fee. I'm indigent. And motherfuckers that are doing this at the state level, you need to literally take it to the Supreme Court on writ certiorari because your inability to pay does not mean that you should not get justice. That's been settled in the Supreme Court several times as well. He's a criminal, Jonathan Greenberg, and he's in cahoots and collusion with Sandy Opiak, or whoever, who's the clerk of court of that particular court. It's systemic corruption in the state of Ohio in the judiciary. It's the judges, it's the judge magistrates, it's the clerks of courts, the quasi judicial employees. And they're all in cahoots and collusion with these different corporations and motherfucking businesses, nonprofits, foundations, whoever. The leadership, and they're perpetrating so many frauds and swindles on the people, on the government itself, and on the court. That's against the United States. That means they're enemies, foreign fucking enemies, going against the contract of the United States, the fucking Constitution. It's treason. Like I said before, it's very minimally sedition and conspiracy. But because I'm not the only one, this is everywhere. All you need is two witnesses, whole ass motherfucking bitch. But shut up. These are enemies. These are pirates. These are foreign enemies. Mhm. They've already infiltrated the judicial system. They're trying to overthrow the Constitution. So you're trying to overthrow the Constitution, which is the contract for the government, which is the United States. You're trying to overthrow the government. It's treason. That is actually an emergency. It's a public safety and national security risk. Ohio is the epitome, and Mike DeWine has been named in a mandamus, and he's not exercising his duty to do anything about it. Supreme Court 2024-1320. Kenneth Parker, U.S. Attorney of the Ohio Southern District, isn't doing anything about it. His attorney, U.S. Department of Justice, John Stark, isn't doing anything about it. Aren't these public officials? Don't they have a duty to uphold? Especially when it comes to things like this, like organized crime, public corruption, RICO racketeering, grand larceny, criminal conversion, embezzlement, money laundering, false claims, healthcare fraudulent billing practices, insurance fraud. So you got all these people, and where there's insurance, again, insurance, people are going to pay the very, very minimum co-pays and things like that. But there's all insurance fraudulent schemes. Like I said before, I have in the housing arena. You got the attorneys that are the handlers. You have Ohio attorney Alex Castle and Michael Casone. They're running all kinds of housing schemes. They're utilizing the court down at the Franklin County Municipal Court with these evictions and all this type of shit, unlawful evictions at that, especially if you were a tenant that complained about a condition dwelling in habitability or hazard conditions, and you called the city came and did an inspection, they issued code violations, they ignored it, but then they retaliated and they turned the heat up, they stalked you, they turned your water off, they do all kinds of stuff. They did all that stuff to me. All you got to do is ask for Email Columbus, Ohio, City of Columbus 311.gov and ask them for the public records for address 2951 Hubbard Place, Reynoldsburg, Ohio 43068. You'll get a real good insight into what actually happens. I document very well. That will serve as a very good resource for you if you've ever gone through something like this with a landlord that retaliates for you putting them on task. Or exposing any type of fraudulent activity. So Krishna Kualatada is a little Indian man. He lives out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's actually up here buying she bullshit, shack hole bullshits, okay? Motherfuckers that's gonna blow up on you, okay? My whole family almost blew up. Columbia Gas had to come and evacuate us out of the motherfucker because it was improper combustion on the water heater because of the fucking gas line shit was fucked up a gas leak and it was fire on top of the shit. We almost blew up in there, but God is good. Okay, they shut the water off, honey. I had to go buy all these jugs of water. You couldn't even flush the toilet. Have poop go down. You couldn't wash your hands. You couldn't do shit. Cabinets was coming off the wall. It was mice in that bitch. It was all kinds of shit. Okay, and the city did an inspection. The city, Christina Conrad came and did a fucking inspection and issued code violations. The city is who brought back the paperwork for retaliation. Okay, but Tierra Ross, the Ohio attorney, she never did shit about it. But yet they keep getting grant funds, though, right? That's how I end up finding out, like, what is going on here? Why? Because I sued them. I had already been to Franklin County Municipal Court, and Michael Casone, he was threatening me. He sent me like threatening letters and all. He said, "I'm gonna have you set out on the street and doing all this if I didn't contact Amazon and Liberty Mutual and retract the true report of fraud." Because what Krishna Kualatada is doing, and a lot of people probably are, they're knowing the pre-existing conditions of the she shed shackle bullshits. Okay, they're getting for 10 cents. And what they're doing, they're flipping them, but just enough to go in and do a light clean. They're not getting any type of inspections done. They're not bringing the properties up to code. They're putting lives at risk. And then when tenants speak up and speak out about it, they're retaliating. But what it is, it's all a trick. It's a scam. It's a scam on the insurance companies because what Christian Falatata is doing, he's getting insurance knowing pre-existing conditions exist. Okay. And then he's putting lives at risk, but he's listing the property with the recorder's office as a rental. So then they're going to come in. He already knows in advance that they're going to complain, right, about condition dwellings. That he already knows is inhabitable and unsafe. He doesn't have fire smoke detectors in the motherfucker. Ain't no electricity in the bitch. Honey, wasn't no electricity in the garage, in the living room, in the front porch type shit, or in the master fucking bedroom when I moved in 2951 Hubbard Place, Reynoldsburg, Ohio 43006. Fucking A. The refrigerator, honey, I think somebody who was living there before was killing motherfuckers or something like that because it smelled like had a man come and remove the bitch. He said it smelled like old game. So if that motherfucker was putting heads and butts and dinglings and feet up in there, wrapping it up, doing the for Jeffrey Dahmer and the motherfucker down in the bitch, or some type of animals that was bleeding out, and the shit was coming through the bottom, and it was making us sick. You could smell it. It was everywhere. It was the worst smell of all time. I said, "Is this what they be saying? The smell of death is?" And one of my sons was like, "Mom, you know what? I don't know, because it was a lot of weird shit going on in there." It was like smoke, like whoever lived there before was burning shit with incense and putting marks on walls, and they had the cabinets had soap with incense stuck in it, burns and shit everywhere was smoky to everything. My son said, people who be doing that witchcraft rituals types of shit, be taking chickens and shit like that and doing all that. Maybe that's what that was. The man who came and removed it, he's like, "What is that?" It looked like real dark brown blood, looked like little pieces of brains in it. I ain't lying. I got a picture of that shit. He was like, "Oh my God, what does that smell like?" Okay. Yeah. And so, anyways, Christian Guadagnino, what he does, he goes and gets a little insurance. He had it with Amazon Liberty Mutual. He only had a $65 copay with one of them. That's on purpose because he knows that the tenant is going to call him and be like, "Hey, this ain't working. This ain't working." Everything was fucking broken, that bitch, when I went in that motherfucker. You hear me? The washer and dryer was broke, motherfucker. The dishwasher was broke, bitch. His cousin, was supposed to fix this and fix that. And I was like, "Are y'all going to get this together? What about this? What about this?" Like, "Oh, yeah." And what happened was the reason why you couldn't smell that funky ass smell and all that. This is how I learned too. And I can come and tell you, don't ever rent a place where you walk in there and they got plugins in the fucking wall. You take that shit out. Take the shit out. they're masking something. The strong scent of plug-ins. You're like, oh, this smell good in here. Then 24 hours later, after you done moved in, you're like, what's that smell? Smell like asshole and shit and piss. And you're like, God damn, somebody died up in this motherfucker. Take them shits out, bitch. Wash if they got a washer, a dryer. I'm gonna learn. Take a load of clothes. Shit. Like, yeah, how you doing? I'm gonna be here for like an hour because I'm just saying, I got to check everything. You said this come with amenities. Oh, like a washer and dryer. Amenity. Yes, you said. Is that included in the rent? Damn. Get on back to Vegas, motherfucker. If you don't know what I'm talking about, where the fuck? Did you hear what I said? I brought my own soap powder and sheets and shit, bitch. Don't worry, man. You ain't got to stay here. And why is these plug-ins in the wall? Huh? Y'all been up in here shitting on the floor and farting and everything like that? I need to take them out. Take them out. Take them out. I'm gonna be over here just cold chilling for a minute. I need to check this bitch out. Yeah, I didn't learn. That's how you got to do it. Wash your load of clothes. See if that bitch has washing machine. All the cycles. All go through all like low, high, cold, high, everything. Wash. Make sure. Put it in the dryer. Put your shit in there. See all the shit's like okay. All right. Make sure the shit close. Like, okay, the door work. All right, okay. That's cool, okay. Right. Turn the heat real high. Oh hell. Make sure turn it all the way down where you freeze it. Like, have icicles hanging off your eyes and shit like that. Make sure. Sure. Bring you a couple dishes. Take your own dish tabs and shit. Ah? Somebody call me? Oh, I gotta get some more. Why would somebody throw this back in here and ain't no damn dish tab in here? Oh, good thing I went down here. Crazy. Can't even see it. It's Cascade. Coming in. My granddaughter playing a damn Roblox holler. Um, hmm Run your dish water washer. Take your own soap powder, your own fabric softeners and shit like that and everything like that. Go up there, to the tub, both the tubs and the sinks and toilet. You run the sink, you run the sink water, and you flush the toilet at the same time. Somebody was saying that's how you supposed to be able to tell some fuck shit going. Make sure the toilets, everything's working. Go up there, make sure you got all the stoppers and everything. Make sure you got the little thing over the shower where you put your shower curtain. Honey, you got to really, really, really make sure the garbage disposal, or throw you some old food, bring you some old broccoli shits like you had made the night before at your house, and you ready to get rid of all this shit. Clean your refrigerator or where you living now and take it over there, throw it in they sink. Make sure it go like because that's probably fucked up. Yeah, everything was fucked up over there. Yeah, open up the cabinets. Make sure the cabinet is stabilized on the thing. Open up and slam it like phew. Make sure pull on it like god damn. Yeah, because the whole cabinet had actually fell off the shit over there. And I had to call the city. I called that girl, Christina Conrad. I said, if this motherfucker fall on my grandchild, I'm gonna hold the city accountable because y'all already know that this past their 30 days and getting this shit done, we y'all issue code violations, and it's still shit going on. They cut the water off. Now she did call them, Christina Conrad, because he was responsible for that water. She did call them and they paid it and they made sure the water got back on. But look how much time we went with shitting and everything and not being able to wash our hands the right way. I had to go buy all them things water. I was like, oh my God, it's the worst. Oh my God, it's the worst. And even when I went in there, the place was still so dirty and nasty, so fake how they do shit. And it still had old tenant shit in there. Then the shit that I had seen out front when me and my daughter had first seen the place. I'm thinking like, okay, they just moved it. When we moved in, do you know that shit was still there? Motherfucker didn't call bulk or nothing. Then the city put a violation on him. But they sent it to my neighbor's house because he owned both. So me and my neighbor had an attached thing. He was at 2949 Hubbardton, and I was at 2951. His name was Todd and Cindy. Yep, because I was gonna call them as witnesses. He was doing it in the same way, like their toilet and all that shit was like hanging to the side. Todd's wife couldn't even use the bathroom, and she had like health issues, like with her knees and stuff like that. She couldn't use the main bathroom. Just luckily, Todd was a good handyman, and he built the floor up and stuff like that, so she could go to the back. He had to build her like a little thing that she could hold on to walking outside, stuff like that. He would have vouched for everything. And he told me, he said, "Oh my God, this place over here, like, oh my God," it was like, "Oh my God," like, Then the landlord motherfucker gonna call me and be like, all that stuff that was out front, honey, that had been out there for 2, 3, 4 months with birds shitting on it and cats peeing on it and whatever the fuck is. Could you move that to your garage for me? Like, can you move it to your garage for me? Like, what? No. Oh, I just was trying to see, like, oh my God, I thought I could trust you. That type of manipulative type of shit. He was having a motherfucker. He hired somebody, which I ain't got no complication. You want to hire a crackhead to do something, honey? I've done it before. I got crackheads in my motherfucking family. I'll be like, come over here and do this and do that. I'll make a whole goddamn list and I pay him. I go get him a cigarettes or get him the beer, get him a sandwich, get whatever. And they do a damn good job. My uncle is that way, and he don't give no fuck. Yeah, he's a crackhead. He whatever the fuck. They call him crackhead, but he doing just fine. He still own that house over there. That used to be my grandmother's house, his mother's house, and she left it to him. He's still in this fucking house, though, ain't he? Okay, he maintaining just fine. He might be smoking his crap, but he living, he fine. So I don't care about that. If you want to pay somebody, because whatever. Some people can't even afford if they're doing this real estate shit to have somebody that's contracted and bonded. But that's where they get themselves in trouble. If you cannot afford to get into the business of the real estate type shit, excuse me, bitch, stay out of it. Because you're creating a whole lot of issue and complication already. You don't even have the means to do this shit. First of all, you need to have your shit together to when you're investing in a particular property. You need to renovate it the right way. At a very minimum, get it up to code and things like that, where it's move in ready and safe. That's what it is. Ain't nobody asking for nothing that's over the top or all these options and amenities, but your shit needs to be safe for families. Like my grandbaby was a baby at that time. You had somebody move into this shit. We nearly fucking blew up, and it was just an issue and a complication. And I paid my rent up front, honey. I had $35,000 motherfucking dollars. I paid the whole rent contract up. Period. Why was I going through that? And that eviction is on my name. There's fake frivolous eviction filings that they put on your name. Michael Casson did that. Alex Castle did that. That's a harm. It's messing up my future housing. And also, Alex Castle continued to do it here. Now that I live here in this place, he's doing it still. And my rent is actually in escrow. And he's filing for non-payment of fucking rent when he knows my rent's in escrow. Now this last time with Alex Castle, in this particular place, in this landlord, that is a whistleblower retaliatory act where it's attempt to seize my housing because that's what they'll do. So they were making up again fake and frivolous cases and stuff like that because Alex Castle's in cahoots in collusion with Elizabeth Farner, who is the clerk of courts. Now, do you see how it's all connected? That's how I was able to put it all together and figure out all the different tactics because of all the different things that are going on in all the different arenas that there's still the same underlying things going on. It's case fixing, and you have at the forefront the clerk of courts that's running interference. That's a gatekeeper. They're going to keep you from being able to access the court, but it looks legitimate. So send letters and things like that, and then pretending that you didn't send something in. They're not going to give you notice. You have a right to have notice. They'll make sure you don't get noticed, like service. They'll make sure you don't get that. If you send an answer or reply or whatever it is, they'll make sure it doesn't get docketed and things like that. They interfere with the U.S. mail. That's why you always have to send things certified. I would recommend if you're dealing with this type of level of corruption that you send everything registered, because that's gonna put them in prison straight off the bread fucking with the registered mail. That travels under lock and key, honey, with the postal service money. They don't play about that, and they will come after them. And that's so every time they keep fucking with my mail, whether it's certified or registered, I go ahead and turn them in to the inspector. Registered. I just sent off the writ certiorari to the Ohio Supreme Court, care of Robert Bond, and listed all of the justices there. Yep, and yep, let them go ahead and fuck with that registered mail. Go ahead and fuck with it, bitch. And I'm getting ready to make a copy of the receipt for that, for the actual payment and that registered mail ticket to the Ohio Supreme Court justices, and then also the U.S. Court of Appeals judges. I also sent registered. So Kelly Stevens, care of Kelly Stevens, listed all of the justices' names on there. And I also, on the certificate of service that went along with the writ certiorari, I put a notation of
alert to the clerk of the historical civil fouling, tampering, and interference because it has to be known because they'll pretend as if they never got the notice and they'll fuck around and delay the writ certiorari and all this type of stuff instead of just doing the right thing. Stop saying that you don't have stuff. Stop doing it. Put everything on the record. Let the public know about everything. Let the public scrutinize or do whatever. Yeah, anybody that's standing on the truth would not have a problem with that. So this is what I have to go through because they're interfering with everything. It's systemic corruption. It's really, 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 really bad. It's actual mail fraud, wire fraud. All this type of stuff is really, really difficult to actually prove for your average individual, but not for me because all along it's been all in God's plan. That's why I've had to go through everything. This has been going on for greater than 10 to 14 years. Mhm. And it keeps happening over and over and over. Why? Because the Lord needed me to be able to establish as an example of the ongoing historical patterns of corruptive and criminal practices in all these different arenas. Mhm. So whether it was me or something with my children or something like that. So every single eviction that's ever been on my name whatsoever has nothing to do with non-payment of rent. Nothing. I don't owe anybody. I don't have judgments on my name for owing rent. That's never the issue. The issue is that I've turned them in to a governmental agency about condition dwellings, and then the agency, city, comes out and does an inspection. They're the experts. I don't stand over them and tell them what to do. They issue code violations on them. They're the ones that do it. So if they're the experts. And the city itself is the ones that always give me the retaliation paperwork because they have to believe that you're being retaliated against. But nobody ever does anything about it. And if you get into the court arena, everything is case fixed, case manipulated. Yeah, and everybody's in cahoots and collusion. I learned that. So the Franklin County court, municipal court, those magistrates, they're in cahoots and collusion with the attorneys because they're all attorneys. They're all friends, so they're all making the court cases, their case fixing them to go in favor of the attorney. But if a tenant decides that they want to come to an agreement or whatever, then they will allow that too. But sometimes these agreements are actually forced agreements under duress and coercion. A tenant really doesn't want to, but they feel like they're pressured into it. And if they don't, then they're going to be kicked out within 5 days or whatever the case may be. And so they go ahead and agree. That's what's happening. And there actually is no tenant rights whatsoever in city of Columbus, um, of Ohio. No, there isn't. But the fraud comes in on the federal government with the city of Columbus, Zach Klein, the prosecutor, mayor, Andrew Ginther, attorney, Tierra Ross, prosecutor, and the city council, Zach Davison, Michael Brown, and anybody else at all of the fiscal and budgeting department putting in fake, frivolous, fraudulent, false statement application in the form of a proposal to the U.S. Housing and Development Pro Housing um, grant. And they're getting grant money and they're pretending and acting like they actually advocate for tenants and they want tenants to feel comfortable about exercising their right to complain to a governmental agency about condition dwellings and not face retaliation. And they do put in there that if that happens, that there's robust legal representation down at the Franklin County of Columbus, Ohio Municipal Court, but there is not. No, it's not. It's legal aid. Okay. And doesn't legal aid get their own funding? Yeah, and there's one man that sits down there with them, and he's like the preceptor. And these are students, and these students are going out and they're tricking these tenants, making them believe that they're lawyers. They're not lawyers, and so called giving them advice. I've been down to the court several times. A lot of evictions. They're all for fraud, frivolous. hmm And I don't lie about shit. Even when I moved here, I told this landlord everything. I told everything. Columbus Urban League did step in and try to help me. They gave me a referral to legal aid to talk to somebody, and who I talked to was actually very nice about more than just this particular issue. There's another case in housing. It's a lot of fraud. It's a lot of slumlords. It's all tactics and things like that to deceive either the tax man or the federal government by and through whatever opportunity that these individuals can have as far as getting their hands on free money. And that's through grants. So, and it's true. So, any federal governmental agency that is actually going to investigate anything, they'll be able to tell it already through their own mechanisms. Like I said, risk management, auditing types of mechanisms. Anything that I say it can absolutely be verified. Now that they have the basis, they can go look at anything. Anything like, say, with the Medicare healthcare fraud, so you can go look at my son's case. They fraud his Medicare. You can look at his case. And once you go and look at all those claims that were submitted, and you go and pull his medical record, you see there's no sessions, no soap, no soapy, nothing like that, or whatever any clinician may use. Like in nursing, you use soap or soapy. And that's just basically where someone may present for an office visit or something like that. You get what their complaint is, the subjective, whatever they're saying is going on with them. Then you'll have some objective types of things that are measurable. And for instance, for anybody out there that might not understand and know what could be measurable, say for instance, when you go and they take your blood pressure, that is a diagnosis that's measurable. They actually will even put a pain scale rating when they ask you to rate your pain 0 to 10. That's put in the objective data, in fact, and not subjective. That's put there your pain rating. Any other types of diagnostics and things like that that definitively can actually substantiate or could be drawn back to if some type of diagnostic or they're really trying to assess what's going on, like they want to say, well, we're thinking like maybe you might be borderline um, you know hypertension from the high blood pressure. They're already playing music. What's that saying, playing music on my thing for? Don't play no damn music. What? See how the demons be messing with me? But they could look at your blood pressure, or whatever. Say, oh, well, we think 140 over 90. We want to keep watching you. We want you to take a digital, blood pressure machine home, and for the next 14 days, we kind of want to see what's going on. Are you able to take your blood pressure for us, like 2, 3 times a day, and log it? And then bring it back with the next follow-up appointment so we can kind of see how things are trending, and we want to make a diagnose, run some type of diagnosis. I mean, diagnostics like laboratory work and all kinds of stuff. Do a real good workup and all this type of deal. I mean, those are objective types of things when they start doing that. Like you going in there talking about your chest hurt and all this coughing and all that. They might do a chest X-ray, see what's going on. Yeah, they'll listen to you and all that, but to definitively be able to have a diagnosis or something of pneumonia or something like that. They want to do something a little bit more measurable, a true diagnostic, like an X-ray. Just because I listen to your lungs doesn't it heard some crackles or something like that doesn't necessarily mean that you have pneumonia. So I'm gonna send you on down here to hallway, or Betty gonna come in here with the shits, and we're gonna get you together with the X-ray. We're gonna see what's going on. We're gonna take a look, see what we see on here, and then we'll let you know. Okay, and so you'll have that. So subjective, then you have objective, and then you'll have the assessment piece, and that's pretty much what the practitioner was able to draw based on what you told them was going on with whatever, and then what types of tests and diagnostics and all this that they were able to do to try to come to assess a situation. Well, what I believe, like a hypothesis, I believe what could possibly be going on here is this. Then you'll have a plan. Hmm. So, and because of these authority types of diagnosis, and we know what was said, clinical guideline, medical guideline, whatever, says about when you have these certain things in line, that 9 times out of 10, the patient might have X, Y, Z. So this is what I'm believing it to be, and this is what I'm going to do. And in the plan, they're going to put what they're going to do. Are they going to give you medication? They're going to give you some other types of interventions that you could try. Um, Incentive spirometer. Are they going to say these different breathing things? Are they going to say, depending on whatever the issue is it something with the diet? Whatever. Are they going to start you on low dose types of medication, like a beta blocker or something like that? What you doing, girl? kind of see how that goes, something like that. You know, yeah, see, like, we're gonna start you on this and kind of see. I want you to be taking your blood pressure and everything like that. And before you take this medication, you better damn well take your blood pressure first, okay? Or you're gonna be on the floor. You know how many people that patients I've been talking to, honey, and their complaint was, this is when I was doing case management. Um, Telephonic case management. People was telling me all the time they felt so dizzy and they were just getting up and stuff. And you know, I fell. They was falling and busting their head and being in the hospital and all this type of shit. Do you know? It was a blood pressure medication. Lots of them was on we call them OLs, beta blockers and things like that, where you literally need to take your blood pressure first before you take that every time. Yeah. And there needs to be certain parameters in place, and somebody needs to be educating you about that because what was happening was they was taking the blood pressure medication, and their blood pressure is already pretty stable, and if they would take the medication, it would drop their blood pressure too low, and so that's why you would find that they were getting up too quickly. Number one, to where that blood volume just wasn't right, and then they was just all falling and shit like that. You know how many people will tell me they had never been told that? It's a true breakdown. Uh, but I think they're trying to get better about a lot of things because there's been a lot of litigation behind negligence with workers and things like that. Lots of malpractices and things like that. So that's why you have places like NCQA that really promote effectiveness as far as the health care field. And it's more provider practitioner focus and making sure that your provider and your practitioner are really on task with what they're supposed to be doing. And that's what I do when I actually take on like contract roles and things like that. I'm at that particular end of things where I am the auditor of the practitioner that is actually at the forefront of your care. So it could be your ongoing care provider or your primary care provider. I'm looking at their record that they wrote on you, and making sure that what they're doing, specific to your chronic condition, is what is expected of them to do in line with clinical guidelines and what NCQA actually says is equates to quality by their particular specifications. Yeah, and that it's part of insurance and things like that, and that's what helps your insurer, whoever you have, keep their accreditation. Mhm. And the insurer has to keep their providers, whoever they're allowing to treat you, on task of certain things. So that's the level that I'm at. And I'm actually an overreader of the frontline nurses and things like that that do the initial abstract. And they're experts too. They will look and audit certain things based on condition or whatever the measures are. But I'm over them at the overreader level. And I'm looking to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. That's called a HEDIS. It's an auditor. There ain't too many motherfuckers that can tell me shit about a medical record. There ain't too many motherfuckers that can tell me shit about quality in healthcare. There ain't too many motherfuckers that can tell me shit about clinical guidelines and what the expectation is. Standards of care. Standards of care is what get people fucked up when you go to court. It's a lot of standards of care violations. I will tell you now, if you're a patient at Southeast Mental Health at 16 West Long Street, Columbus, Ohio, 43215 of your loved one, you got a lawsuit. They're in violation of standards of care. Ding, go get paid, bitch. And if you're an attorney, you better put a notice out in the motherfucking paper class action. Call me, motherfucker. I'll be your class action representative. You're going to pay me more than 1,500 though, because I got a lot of proof. Bitch, also. Yeah, and I refuse to represent a class again where nobody gives me one red cent, but they traipse off with my information. They capitalize. I had some attorneys do that as well. Yep, that's Greg Mansell of Mansell Law, Carrie Dyer of Mansell Law, Edward Foreman, John Marshall of Marshall and Foreman. That's what they did. Hmm. I actually called Greg Mansell about an EEOC disability types of discrimination and race discrimination issue with the Ohio Department of Rehab and Corrections I was going through because I always speak up and speak out about every fucking thing, and I tell them motherfuckers and they don't like it again, so they rally to fire me. I was a civil servant employee where you don't really have a right to up and fire a civil servant employee that's under the collective bargaining agreement SEIU 1199, but they did because they retaliated. And what? They pulled SEIU 1199 into it too, and they never did arbitrate, but yet they stole my money. My union dues, where I'm paying like $33 every time I got paid for legal representation or arbitration or whatever of issues. SEIU 1199 did that. Yes, they did. And I told it all in the writs. I ain't tell everything, but just enough. They also worked registered nurses. hmm Overtime who worked for the Ohio Department of Rehab and Corrections and never paid them their motherfucking money. Yeah, they did. That's slavery. It's imprisonment. They got free labor. All of the registered nurses. hmm Yeah, bitch, I stand up for nurses. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But they stole. They still didn't get paid, bitch. Who was behind that? Mike DeWine. He was actually the Ohio Attorney General at that time. He defended the Ohio Department of Rehab and Corrections for that fuck shit, and they went in and they lied because I didn't know what really it was. Because that's what happens when you don't know about fraud, and then when later when you're doing your own research, you're trying to figure things out, and you say, oh, "That's what it was." Oh my god. So that's what it was. It was all fake. It's all fake. It's all frivolous. They utilize all these words, and they said that actually RNs are professionals and they're salaried. But the state of Ohio actually did know that there's actually a collective bargaining unit contract that says that nurses were not salaried, that nurses were not FSLA exempt. And the Board of Relations, National Board, they did know that too because I turned them into that. It's all fraud. Everybody is fraud. Everybody is fucking fake, and they know, and they still owe all the motherfucking registered nurses their goddamn money from the overtime. Yeah, that's on that case too. All those writs. Yeah, they lied. And guess what? They actually, that's what they did. That's what the attorneys do. They actually fraud the state itself. So they make up fake frivolous stuff and they file class actions and stuff like that, but they're actually all on the same team. They're not really opposing. It's a lot of conflict of interest. Like, I found out too that through the Ohio Supreme Court shit that I'm doing now, that the Ohio Attorney General's office was getting ready to represent John Foreman and no, Edward Foreman and John Marshall. Mhm. But remember, Edward Foreman and John Marshall actually sued the state as if they didn't have no association with the Ohio Attorney General's office or anything with the state of Ohio in the FSLA case, where I was supposedly representation for the RNs, and my good girlfriend, Sarah Brantel, was representation for the LPNs. I'm the one that brought the information to Greg Mansell. Be very careful about when you answer these individuals' intake questions on their consult, because they're only really looking for ways that they can capitalize. I was calling about trying to get somebody to take my case because I was being severely retaliated against. My life was literally at risk in the prison because the prison is a bounded institution. You can't get out unless somebody lets you out. So if they're in cahoots or collusion with an inmate that they believes they're going to get something extra, maybe get time off or whatever, the inmate to come and kill me or something like that. Inmate already told me. Some other inmate already told me. Miss April, you got to be careful. You got to be careful here. I already told him. I already knew what was up. I already knew. He walked past me real slow when he was coming in to go get the his pills. He walked past real slow. Miss April, be careful. So motherfucker, I wasn't going back up in that bitch. After he told me that, I fear for my life. I fear for my life. They said if you don't come back, it's job abandonment. I fear for my life. They sent the police to my house, honey. The warden at that particular time. This was in I worked there from 2010 to 2016. Franklin County. Ohio Department of Rehab and Corrections reception center out in Pickaway. Mhm. All you got to do is pull all my grievances, any grievances that's ever been filed from the time that I worked there, 2010 to 2016. You'll get a whole bunch of information. They covered up everything. Yep, they sent the police to my house, called it a well check on 11/25 of 2015. They knew it wasn't a well check. Then somebody from SEIU 1199 gave me a call and they said, we're willing to give you $10,000, but that's all we're going to do. We're not going to arbitrate your termination, and it will make sure that it's documented that you know like I guess I didn't get fired or some bullshit. I said I'm not willing to just take 10,000. They said, well, we're not going to arbitrate it. Mhm. Because somebody bribed him, somebody did something. Then Carrie Dyer, that particular attorney, she mistakenly sent an email um to everybody that I actually was against, to all those opposing people that they had actually sued in the FSLA of the state of Ohio, that had a lot of the employees from the state of Ohio in there. She sent them an investment opportunity. So obviously, the state of Ohio or somebody paid them or bribed them, or they got some type of kickback for ensuring that they got rid of me and that all this type of shit, and they was able to pull off whatever scheme that they pulled off on the state. They pulled it off on the state of Ohio itself, which is actually the funding is taxpayer dollars, so they don't give no fucks. But all these attorneys in cahoots and collusion, John Marshall and Edward Foreman in cahoots and collusion with the Ohio Attorney General's office, which was Mike DeWine in that office at that particular time. They're all connected. But then they literally were acting as if they were on imposing sides in the FSLA Ohio Court of Ohio Court of Claims suit where the LPNs got back over 300 and something $1,000. That's taxpayer dollars. That you can only go back like 3 years. So the LPNs got back pay for the overtime. The RNs didn't get paid anything. They worked for free. Yep, but they were part of the collective bargaining unit contract. Everything I say is true. Everything. Everybody that was involved in that should be in prison as well. It's fraud on the court. I have a Rule 60Bs filed in these particular court cases and stuff like that. Some of them was actually filed. Some have been stricken, like Betsy L. Schuster. She struck the Rule 60B in the Money Heist case where Terry Jameson, Julia Dorian, and Christina Boggs, they got on the coattail and continued to lie and scam and the scheme and spun narratives and covering up and concealment, the misprision of the felony of the money heist of my 15,028. They acted like they looked at something de novo and they acted like they applied the law. If you looked at the entire case record and briefed the entire case record de novo, then you would have known that it was a fraud scheme. It was crime and all that, especially if you understand and know what an interpleader truly represents. And an interpleader, you literally cannot owe a liability to one of the defendants. I'm a defendant, and the Resources LLC owe liability to me in a Title VII Civil Rights Act in 1964, employment discrimination, race and disability, but they covered up that particular MSA, and they actually cover up the entire case. That particular case actually originated in a federal court, so the state court really had no jurisdiction to do anything with that. Bless you, babe. Yeah, it should have went back to the federal court, U.S. District Court of Ohio, Southern 2:2202519. So when you don't have jurisdiction, you're operating without warrant or authority. What is that? You don't have any immunity. It's overreach. So do you see why they don't want any of this to come out that I'm talking about? But I'm not a liar, but yet they said that I'm a vexatious litigator. I'm not going to let you fuck up my name and shit like that. And when you go Google my motherfucking name, April Clark, it comes up vexatious fucking litigator. That's a lie. And then you don't let me access the courts. That is a tactic. And I'm not the first motherfucker that they've done this to. It's just that people haven't known how to go about fighting back and letting it be known. Social media probably wasn't even around when motherfuckers first started being victimized by these motherfuckers, okay? But I am the last, okay? Google needs to get that goddamn shit off my motherfucking name, bitch. And I ain't done with these motherfuckers when it come to the personal injuries that they have caused. I want their goddamn assets frozen. Now, I sent the information to the motherfucking Secretary of State because the Secretary of State can freeze their fucking assets. All right. Now, these are enemies. These are enemies. These are foreign motherfucking agents or whatever the fuck they are. They're conspiring against the Constitution, which is conspiracy and sedition against the goddamn government itself. It's treason. I'm not the first one. I can pull anybody from any state to talk about the same shit the judges and judge magistrates and clerks of court and quasi judicial employees is doing in they fucking state and all these courts. Give me somebody, give me two people out the family. Treason. You know what they're supposed to do to people who commit treason? They're supposed to be hanging. They're supposed to hang them, ain't they? I don't know. Well, be a lot of ropes and motherfuckers hanging from trees. So, damn. Then they get to see what it feel like when they did black folks like that. Oh my God. But the difference is black folks didn't do nothing. Wow. Black folks didn't go against the government. And you got these black ass motherfuckers in all these cases. On they side, on they team. Mm-mm. Bitch, don't get it twisted. I'm light skinned. Motherfucker, I'm black. And that's part of their problem too.
Pepper, what is it? Pepper? Oh, you laying on your pillow? Hey, Laura, did you drink your... You drank it? Good job. What's it worth? Good job, girl. Yes. Wow. Good job, Maura. Okay, let's get you some more of this. Yeah, so anybody know anything about autism? It is a task to get my granddaughter to... Wait, Maura, are you sure you drank a smoothie? I think she switched the cup because I rinsed that. I don't think this is this the same cup? We'll see if she drinks this, but it's very difficult with the eating habits. So we have to try lots of different things in terms of getting um vitamins in her, and she really loves this Boathouse Farms Immunity, excellent source of vitamin C, A, and E, and then it's called C Boost. But mainly she really only likes to drink Powerades, but I literally have to get some more coconut water because we try to cut it with coconut water and that helps. And I put like little sprinkles of sea salt, and then also you people can't see these vitamins, but we have Child Life vitamins, multivitamin and mineral for her, and it's like 16.95 at the health food store, but it lasts forever and ever and ever. And that's great. And she also does a detox baths and things like that, which is time for detox bath. That's bentonite clay. It's a cup of vinegar, a cup of meals, baking soda. Yeah, and sometimes I'll put like a little bit of what you call dead salt in there or Epsom salt. And that's a detox, and that does absolutely help as well. We're getting ready to start trying what call lion's mane soon as well, especially if she starts drinking these smoothies the way that she is, and we will put that in there. So, yep. Just do all the great things that we possibly can as natural as possible. I make her toothpaste, but she also utilizes what's it called? Boca toothpaste. So there's any tips for anybody that may came through and have a child or have any issues or you want to learn about autism. My granddaughter's a gas stop. Yeah. So anyways, just journal talking. Hold on. Why are you talking? This is a smoothie. You need to go back outside? It's a smoothie. Drink it. Drink it. It's smoothie. Good for you. It's not green. Drink it. Here. Drink some of that. Where's your other cup? Bring it down. I think you took the smoothie cup up anyways. I think she faked me out. She's not completely non verbal. Thank you, Jesus. The treatment modality for speech therapy actually does work. She does a lot more communicating where she only used to, well, she at one point she never said anything. And then she would just scream and point. And she still will scream, especially if she doesn't want to be bothered. But not like how she used to. hmm She says things like drink if she wants something to drink. Sausage, she likes Ecker's sausage. McDonald's, she likes McDonald's. She loves fries. Sometimes she eats nuggets, mostly not, just fries. Um, yeah. So and she does a lot of repeating and she uses her tablet a lot. She has certain things that she likes. Like if she's watching something, if she wants to watch Cars, she says Lightning McQueen. She doesn't say Cars. If she wants to watch Toy Story, she says Friend and Me. So you know that's Toy Story. Mm, Bugs. She doesn't say Bugs. I forgot what she says. Maybe she does say Bugs for that. I think she says Bugs for that, and I think she says Monsters Inc. for Monsters Inc. But sometimes you have to kind of try to decipher what it is. But my son knows everything. He knows everything that she's saying and that she's doing. It's so amazing. Like my son is a single father and he does great with his daughter. Hmm. Yep. Yep. And Benita Ritas and Lachelle, Ian Stroud, Aaron Hansen, and Paula J. Copeland tried to turn his custody case that he had to file because he's pretty much put under duress, and coercion and threat to, because they were basically saying to Columbus City Schools that if he didn't have a paperwork showing that he literally had custody of my granddaughter, he could not get access to the school choice portal to put her in the lottery for the Spanish school, which her speech therapist believes is a better school for her because she is gas stopped, and the ABA that other autistic children might actually they might benefit them. It's not going to work in her best interest because she's gas stalled. It's different. Her learning processes are different. She needs to be more in line with what society deems to be normal learning processes of regular kids, because she's gas stalled. Um, mhm. So we were trying to do what the speech therapist said, but the school was giving a hard time. So he did file for the custody, and Benita Ritas turned that into a whole battle, which is not necessary because both parents are fit and competent parents. Number one, and there is no question, there is no battle over where my granddaughter stays because she's always lived with her dad from the day that she was born. Her mother also used to live here from age 17 to 25 till her mother decided she would rather do something else with her life than be a full-time mother. And that's perfectly fine. No one's arguing with her about that. It's okay. She sees her daughter once a week, and that's like pulling teeth. So, okay, I don't know. Some mothers just want to do whatever they want to do, and society needs to understand that that does happen, and that's perfectly fine. As far as my son is concerned, that's not an issue. She does pay child support. She pays 10 cent in a cracker. Okay, who gives a fuck about shit? Okay, my son doesn't care about that either. He doesn't want to be in court. I mean, he doesn't care. It's $200 a month. That's not shit. But it's okay. Whatever. He doesn't care. He just said he don't want to cause nobody no problem. He don't want to be in no court. He doesn't like none of that shit. He doesn't want anything like, period. He wants her to have a relationship with her mom. Okay. Now he's wrapping his mind around that he ain't got no time to kiss nobody's ass behind that either. Period. Okay. So, and it's really sad because my son feels like she's alive and she's not doing my kid's father died when he was 22 months old, and I found out I was pregnant with my youngest son, who's now 23, 2 weeks after their dad passed. So I raised my children without a father. So my son, who's a single dad now, can't wrap his mind around how a living parent doesn't want to be a part of their child's life on a more consistent um, basis, even if they're not in the home. He can't wrap his mind. He can't wrap his mind around why how a mother could be that way because I'm not that type of mother. He's like, they don't make them like, more mom, like, I don't know, like, but the bottom line is you can't worry about that. So, and my granddaughter, one positive silver lining is she don't care. I mean, she be happy to see her mom. She love her mom and everything like that. But honey, when she bring her back, she be like, Dad, 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 hey, Dad, hey, Dad. She comes straight out her clothes and go to doing whatever the hell she doing. So, honey, she ain't bothered by the shit. But it's gonna be her mother that is gonna have to answer to that because again, my granddaughter is gassed up. Just because she might not be what people think is normal and saying this and saying that, she actually is processing everything. She knows everything that's going on, and one day she's going to be just talking just like anybody else, and she's probably going to confront her mother like, "Well, what happened to you, and why did you do this?" She knows everything. I've seen it happen with a child too. He was autistic. He never spoke a word. All he did was look. Last time I seen him, he was like 9 or 10 years old. He never said shit ever. He's 21 years old now. He works at Goodwill. I said, "Do you remember me?" He said, "No, I don't." I said, "I was friends with your mom. We used to live in the same area next door." He's like, "Really? You know my mom?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You like working here?" He said, "Yeah, I actually like it a lot." I said, "How old are you?" And I said, "I'm 21." He's autistic. He never spoke a word ever. But his mother had him in a lot of treatments. Thank you, Jesus. Just because somebody can't speak or you think that they don't hear or they don't know, and don't be mistreating them. Mm-mm. Shit's gonna circle back on your ass. Hmm. Yeah, I was like, wow, thank you, Jesus. I was so happy. Hmm. And I seen his mom in Kroger not too long after that. She said, he over there working at the Goodwill. I said, I seen him. He's doing great. And she linked him up with the different programs and stuff like that that the Goodwill have for vocational stuff, and they help individuals with special needs and stuff like that. He's doing great. That's what's gonna happen with my granddaughter. And yeah, what's gonna be sad is for those that wanted to treat her however they wanted to treat her when she was younger and stuff like that. Mm. But it's all good. She got us, and she's perfectly fine. And we don't need any outsiders coming over here. Aaron Hansen and Benita Reedus and Lachelle Stroud, they actually initiated a court order where they was asking for records from CPS and my granddaughter's medical records. Well, first of all, she's never had a case at CPS. It's not a case of concern for safety or abuse or nothing like that. Neither one of her parents has ever been in any trouble with law enforcement. There's no criminal background or criminal record. There's no domestic violence. There's nothing like that. So why would Benita Reedus and Lachelle Stroud of the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas Domestic Relations, case 24JU5837, create a bunch of bullshit? Why would Benita Reedus charge $500 to my son and then $500 to my granddaughter's mother for fucking mediation that's voluntary and then place them under duress and tell them that they must participate in a Zoom meeting? That's what she said. Then she sent them a letter and said, you have to come to the Zoom meeting with no other adults or anybody else around. Look at that control. That's because they want to abuse people. Wonder who's trafficking your children and using the court as their vessel to get away with it. Fake, frivolous court filings, false statements, bullshit procedures, and all these commercial transactions and shit amongst the Bar Guild members. Benita Reedus, Lachelle Stroud, Paula J. Copeland, who's a motherfucking private attorney out here with an LLC. Mediation fees is for her ass to be a guardian ad litem, and it's not necessary to have a guardian ad litem. Guardian ad litems are put on cases in emergency situations. What's the emergency situation in that motherfucking case? There isn't one. Lachelle Stroud went on a recuse. She got the fuck on up off that shit, didn't she? You're not gonna come for me in my mind. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. And every twist and turn that they keep on fucking doing it, I got something for them. They're playing checkers. I play chess. What else you trying to come with, huh? Running out of options. So, at the end of the day, if nothing else, motherfuckers, the shit's going up to the Supreme Court. I've already sent it. Like I said, registered mail to the House Supreme Court justices and Robert Vaughn, and then also registered mail to the judges of the U.S. Court of Appeals, Sixth Circuit of Ohio, and Kelly Stevens. Yeah, register mail. I want them to go ahead and fuck with it. Then I'm going to write up certificate of I don't know what I'm going to call it because I already did certificate of service. So maybe like an affidavit of verity or something like that. And I'm just going to put that service has been initiated. I'm going to copy those registered mail receipts plus the long receipt of the total cost, and then I'm going to track the registered mail in the US mail system. And then when they actually arrive and I get the copies of the signatures, all of that, I'm going to print that out as well. And then I'm going to go into the post office and I'm going to ask the post folks over there because I'm over there all the time. They see me all the time. Um, Is there any other way that I can get something authenticated once it gets delivered to show that it was actually delivered and utilize it as a servicing processor type of a deal? Because they already told me that you can utilize registered mail as something legal and legitimately as a service processing type of thing, which I thought was actually cheaper than hiring a company. Brandon Joe Williams utilizes ABC, he said, and it was like $80. I thought it would be a little bit more cost efficient for me that I don't have money. I have to beg them. Like I had to ask my daughter for like 40 something dollars to do all the copies because you have to send 10 copies of your writ certiorari to the U.S. Supreme Court, one for the filing, one for each justice. And I had 36 pages. So that was like $40. Then I needed her to mail one of those registered mails for me. That's $20. Boom. Then I had to ask my son, can I use another $40 to mail the other registered mail to the Ohio Supreme Court, the other one. And then the box that I put all of the writ certiorari copies and everything in to the U.S. Supreme Court. Could he pay for that? So it was like over $80 total just for this one thing. I don't have no money. So just imagine people who are going through these types of things that don't even have any support. Like they don't have kids to go to or a family member or anybody. Like, and I'm getting on my kids' nerves. They tired. Like, damn, what else? Like, then I'll be, we just be teasing each other and stuff. But they be like, I thought you was done with the court shit. Like, damn, I thought you said, because they don't really understand. I'm in a lot of different courts, and some courts, if I have electronic filing, I don't have an issue with the copying and stuff like that so much. And especially at this rate, I can, if I have electronic, I have these attorneys' emails and stuff like that, and I can service them like that. But in the very beginning, a lot of the copying was because you got to give copies to everybody that's involved. And in some of my cases, I have a lot of people involved. Like one of them, it's like 78 defendants, and you have to give copy to every single one. So the beginning of that was very difficult. But then, as far as costs, but then when they started having their counsel of record come on board and the counsel of record was providing the email, then I was able to save and not keep begging so much for the money. So, and they just, they support me and stuff like that, but they be like, Mom, what are you looking for out of this? Like, I mean, they just keep doing this to you. I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, what are you gonna be able to do? I can't lay down and take it. You took all my rights away. I'm a slave. I'm never gonna lay down. I'd rather die. So it's okay. Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do anyway. So, and at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about shit, like I said, at all. And somebody come do something to me or any of my family members, any of my living family members, are gonna be very, very rich. Very, very rich. Yeah, because all I got to do is put in the standard form 95, wrongful death. And I've already wrote it up on, I've got my standard form 95s already because I'm getting ready to sue the United States. Believe it. Yeah, all I got to do, and I already wrote it in the section, wrongful death part. I already put that these motherfuckers was plotting to kill me and my family members. So they already have the awareness. So if something does happen, then yeah, whoever's living still out here, my sister, she can get paid. My nephew can get paid. My niece can get fucking paid. Whoever's still living out here, they do something to me and my family members, yeah. My aunts down in Atlanta, yeah, they can get paid. Motherfucker, this bitch, Marine Duffy, called my uncle, who's a physician. He's retired. He works with my damn cousin, who's an attorney in Atlanta. She wrote in her shit that she done looked up my uncle somewhere. Where the fuck, like, what type of researching is these hoes doing? She done looked up my uncle, who's a doctor. Could I call him and ask him about my son? Like, what? That's his uncle. He's not his doctor. Who the fuck you think you are? Like, this the weirdest shit of all time. It's hunting the whole block. I mean, like, bitch, like, what? I mean, that's all I keep thinking about. Get out. I'm like, do this bitch want my son's dingling? What the fuck? You want his eyes, motherfucker? God damn, you want his liver? I said, my motherfucking son he must, like when his dad died, I don't know what the fuck happened. It was some weird shit. Like, he done came back, the spirit or something, because the job wasn't done. And these hoes is acting like, bitch, what, you want his soul? You want his soul? Like, the fuck? She wrote that. She typed my uncle's name in something. Motherfucker, he didn't give you the permission to call his uncle. He don't even know what y'all hoes is doing. And my uncle didn't give me permission to ring his motherfucking phone. What number did you dial? Why are y'all searching up my family? The fuck? And my uncle is a prominent physician at that. For very well-known individuals, celebrities and ball players and all of that. Yeah. My aunt's husband played in the NBA for several years, as they're all tied in to certain things that they like to keep private. And the people that they're associated with that's in the realm of whatever, they like to keep that private too. Bitch, don't you type my uncle's name in shithole. That's what I'm talking about. Who the fuck do these motherfuckers think they are? I got my cousin down there running a prominent law firm and shit like that. What are y'all doing? Like, it's the weirdest shit of all time. Leave my motherfucking family alone. But go ahead and fuck with a bitch if you want to. You come here, I'm armed. And so are my children. You're not gonna leave alive. All right, and that's it, and that's all. But if anything does happen, they then hire somebody to do something to us, make it look like something. I don't give no fucks, honey. But my family members that living gonna be rich. And I done came and put it out publicly. Public announcement. hmm Any and everybody on any case that my name is associated with April Clark in the state of Ohio, in the Franklin County Municipal Court, the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas General, Franklin County Court of Common Pleas Probate, 616-530. Franklin County Court of Common Pleas. They put me in that shit by filing frivolous shit. It's really my son's case. They just released him from slavery once I went public, and I was like, "Hey, bitch, give him back his goddamn rights, ho. It's slavery." Then they wanted to cover that up. hmm Yeah. Yeah. So Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations. Bonita motherfucking Applebaum, Michael Jackson, grease stains all on the back of your motherfucking. Oh, look her up, Bonita Reedus. You gonna be like, bitch, you ain't Michael Jackson. Sit down. Fucking up motherfucker shit. Girl, they done put them damn rods in your head too goddamn tight, left the juice on too long. Frizzy head hoe. Yeah, so anyways. Yeah, boo. Bonita Rita's had the tight ass motherfucking red turtleneck on and shit. Google her, Bonita Rita's Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations, Columbus, Ohio. You gonna be like, look up everybody. They all kind of look the same. Something's wrong with them. Mm-mm. You be looking at all of them. Look at the blacks. You already know they was the rejects. You gonna be like, black people. Black people. Oh, that was a song. That's on TikTok. I was like, I love this song. It's like, black people. Black people. Yeah. Motherfuckers mad they ain't black. Hey. Take your grievances up with the Lord. Too bad. Shit. You ain't on the team. You ain't on the team. We keeping it real. Free speeching it down. Hey. Yeah, but anyways, bitch, what was I saying? Mm-mm. Go look at the black ones. Look up that one motherfucker. I was like, bitch, what's around your neck? Lachelle N. Stroud. Look her up. Lachelle N. Stroud, Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations, Columbus, Ohio. Look at her shit. What's around her neck? Like cornballs. Yeah, them ones, black friends, the ones, look up everybody that's black and you'll see. You'll be like, uh-huh, you know they was in the house. Go ahead. Let's see. So look up Bonita Ritas. You'll be like, let your soul glow. Pinky, like, bitch, get out here. Motherfucking, okay, bitch. Fucking with people's families and their grandchildren. I'm not that old. Yeah. I'm the matriarch here, honey. Don't come from mine, but I got some for that ass. Yeah. Bonita Ritas, Lachelle N. Stroud, Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations, two cornball goofies, um, Terry Jameson. Look at her like, bitch, sit down. Algernon Marbley, like, mm, fucking American Dad. Little Bill head ass motherfucker. Who's that? More? Oh, Kenny. Okay. Yeah. What time is it? Oh, it's 2:22. I got something to do real quick. What else? Who else? James Green. Look at him. Look at Franklin County Municipal Court. James Green. Mm. You gonna be like, Nick. So, Jared Skinner. You can see it. You can see the commonalities and all of them. You're like, yeah, I see why they picked you. But they see they on the side of them and shit like that. The wrongdoers, the slave masters and shit like that. It really is about slavery. It is like when you take somebody's all their rights and just have to control them the way they have me and my son and my entire family and shit like that. This is about slavery. hmm And these is the house motherfuckers, not the black ones. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Period. It's true. Yeah, and you can look at each and every one of them and see why they picked these hoes. Cause but they're on the side of them and the fuck shit. But these motherfuckers don't give no fucks about them. They literally don't even want their black ass in the damn discipline to begin with. They have to tolerate and accept them. But when all this shit really comes out, guess whose black ass face you gonna see at the front? You ain't gonna see nobody white. You gonna see Algernon Marbley. hmm They're gonna make sure he is the face of the downfall of the fuck shit. The black man that covered up all the crimes and did everything. But he jumped on the coattail. He wanted to protect all these motherfuckers and shit like that. hmm And Kenneth Parker too. He's a whole black man. He should be ashamed of himself. Yeah. hmm I don't know what it is with these motherfuckers, these big ass heads and shit like that. I mean, I thought if your head was big, you had like more brain cells and sense. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Jesus, and thank you, people, for coming along. And God is good, and everything is great. And we'll be back. Oh no, you know what? Let me show you this real quick. This is why I came on here. I wanted to show you like you cannot trust anybody because none of these agencies is going to help you do anything. This is the Congresswoman Joyce Beatty's office, Larry Seward. He's a constituent advocate. He called me to ask about what had actually happened because I had told on them for stealing my money. So Congresswoman Joyce Beatty's office does know they're complicit in the cover up of the money heist of the money stolen 15,028 that has equated to embezzlement and money laundering. They do know about it. Larry Seward, and so does it used to be Senator Sherrod Brown, his office as well, constituent Christina Hill or Christian Hill or something like that. Yeah, they know about it too. Nobody does shit. There's all kinds of public records with the Ohio Attorney General through their consumer complaints and all of that. I document everything everywhere. So many, many public records. And like I said, if you want to know anything about the housing scams and schemes, it's always, always, always remember people in public, an attorney, that is the gatekeeper. No, the handler. 1 foot over here in the private sector, 1 foot over here in the court, with the tie in to the decision maker, the so-called trier of fact. There's no real trier of facts in your state courts, but that's what they're doing. They're all buddy, 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 butt fucking each other, court fixing, case scheduling, fixing all this shit, public corruption, white collar, organized, RICO, motherfucking crime. Oh, whistleblower retaliation. Stop fucking with a whole bitch. Didn't nobody give you the memo on who I really was and that I'm not that bitch to fuck with, April Clark. Y'all just ruined my motherfucking name. You just put that bullshit out there on Google. Get the shit off there. Big head, Algernon Marbly. You got an affidavit of disqualification in on your ass. Get the fuck off my shit. You either answer it or recuse. Okay? Go look at that one. People, that case is U.S. District Court of Ohio Southern 2:24CV4255. That is your U.S. Social Security Administration and the Administrative Agency of the State of Ohio. Opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities. Fraud the fuck out the shits, okay? Your application for disability, initial and recertification. Fraud, scams and swindles. Watch it. Yes.
Would you be able to run to the bank and cash out my earnings?
What bank?
Give you my card
I'm not going that far.
for the Kimba.
ATM? It's on your green card? Okay. You got $25 on your Kimba card? That's what you want me to take out? Yeah, go ahead and give it to me. I'll go through the ATM. I don't want to have to go into the bank itself. Um, yeah, and that's my motherfucking son. They try to act like, first of all, I can't neglect no duty to him. He grown as fuck, bitch. He don't need no 24-hour care. He don't need nothing like that. Okay, you don't be saying that neglect the duty. He do whatever the fuck he want to do. And he was actually here when Melissa Kaufman and Eric Horvath, little tiny man with the little tiny hands, showed up and shit to my shit looking like Men in Black with a yellow pad and shit like that. Stupid. These motherfuckers are so dumb showing up to somebody's house. They got mental illness. This dumbass. All right. Uh, okay. 25. That's what you need. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anything else? I'm about to go. All right. Be going back and forth here. I'm like, boy, shut up. What's today's day, anyways? Okay. Okay, that's good. You did way better this month than you did last month. You didn't have no money last month.
That 25 out on me 45 because I still got 20 and ones up there in 55.
That's actually better than last month and I think the month before, so that's good. And you only got 3 more days, you said? Good.
Like 900 already, but I really need to put 801 so I could just go ahead and have 1,000 but I'm probably just gonna put 7 and 1s, keep 500 in my pocket, just like last check. So I have 9 and 1s already, and then I have 500 in my pocket. Then I might just bet out of that and try to win me 100 out of that, and then just put the 100 and 1s right there. Then I have 1,000. Still have.
All right, well, I'm about to leave and I'll be back in a minute. I only have one other stop to make. Yeah, so any of who friends, this I was trying to show. Let's see. Um, the Congresswoman Joyce Beatty's office guy, Larry Sewer, had outreached and asking, could I send any evidence of, my money that had been stolen, all that. And understand and know the EEOC is actually aware of this too. Richard Diageo and Salvador Lopez actually got in cahoots and collusion. Yep, and I caught them in their shit. But what Richard Diageo had actually done, he had already went over to Spitz Law Firm and told them that he had an implied express contractual agreement that I had already agreed and stuff like that to pay them the 15,028, um, you know, put under duress and all this type of shit. But he never went back and told them that I told them, Richard Diageo and Salvador, that I was going to turn them into the federal government for what they had done and also report them to to his disciplinary board. So what Richard Diageo did was he actually rescinded that particular contract that he wrote up and took out all the specific language that had me giving Spitzlaw from any type of money because there is no lien levy. They don't have a lien. And I would have to literally consent to them holding my property. And I told him, no, I'm not going to allow you to hold my property. He kept harassing me. He was sending me messages from his cell phone and stuff like that. That's because he sent Trisha Breedlove a message saying, well, CVS said CVS Health Corporation, not anything with a pharmacy. I don't even know who they are. Remember, CVS Health Corporation is a holding company. The subsidiary is Resource LLC. And obviously another subsidiary or whatever is CVS Health Pharmacy Inc. that I don't know nothing about. Okay. So they said like CVS gonna send April Clark the money, 15,028, because basically, we need to because that's what the contractual agreement actually outlines and states in the entire sum. And then Trisha Breedlove sent back a email saying, no, you said that you had an express contract and the money needs to come to us. And if it doesn't, we're going to sue you. So they said we're going to sue you, Richard Diageo, and Alex Frondorf in your individual capacity and your firm, Littner Mendelson PC, and CVS and Aetna, your clients. So that's why they came up with the money heist. That's why they got in cahoots, included to protect their self. And they used me as a scapegoat. And that's what they did. And that's absolutely true. So this is everything that I let Larry Seward know. Letting them know what I didn't agree with. Just basically a lot of the shit that I just outlined to you. And this was from Salvador Lopez said, good morning, April. Hope you had a good weekend. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I did not realize that the agreement you signed was not the one that shows the corrected numbers. As you can see, the fully executed MSA shows the corrected numbers, and for proper recording of the agreement, I will need you to sign the attached MSA and please date it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That was him trying to fraud me. So this is the email from Richard Diageo. And Richard Diageo, I told him, I said, please be advised, a grievance has been submitted to the disciplinary council. But disciplinary councils and things like that in New Jersey or anywhere, Ohio or anywhere, they're not going to do anything because everybody is a part of the bar guild. Everybody's a bar card holder. So they run interference. They're not going to do anything against each other because it's like a pact. It's like a fraternity and stuff like that, right? All right. So anyway, Mr. Diageo, I do not consent to any holding of my property by your firm. I have stated this numerous times and will file a grievance against you online immediately. If you ask again, I'm being harassed at this point. Please cease and desist immediately, huh? Is it? He said, Miss Clark, I was not asking for your consent to have the money sent to the Spitz Law Firm. I was asking if you would agree to have the 15,028 held in trust by my firm, Littner Medicine PC. So they know what an interpleader is and they know what it actually takes. It takes that it has to be in a trust, or IOLTA or a court escrow. And you literally need a person's consent to hold their equitable property. Otherwise, if you don't get that and then you don't safeguard it or whatever, it's actual theft. So they didn't have any consent implied or expressed, point blank period, and they never did safeguard my money. So who has the fiduciary duty to do that in this particular instance? Does anybody know? I don't know. Says Spitz has threatened to sue me and Littner and Aetna if we send the 15,028 disputed amount to you, as they think they'll never be able to collect it from you. Right, because they would never be able to collect it from me. Why? Because they don't have a lien. They don't have a lien levy. They don't have an attachment bond. They don't have a constructive lien. You literally have to have that. They never sent any notice of anything whatsoever. You have to go through a court process. It's a lot that's involved in that process. And the reason why they don't have anything like that, because all liens and all that bullshit is fraudulent anyways, but they could have tried to fake it. But you have to literally go to a court and you have to have like actual work. Yeah, it's quantum merit. So when I'm saying like, no, this is mine, they're saying, no, we did some work and she owes us and da 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 da, put this money up so we can come in and prove our work and they get paid out of it. They will have to show their work, but they don't have any work. They don't have a motion. They don't have a pleading. I said it 100 times before. They don't have a letter drafted anywhere. They didn't do jack smack shit. They didn't schedule any appointments. They didn't schedule my EEOC charge 532-202-202-705. They didn't talk to any investigator. They did not upload any documentation into the portal. They did not outreach the former employer and get any type of documentation. They didn't get my personnel demographics or anything like that. They didn't lock down their computers or anything like that and put a legal hold. They didn't file the court claim. That's U.S. District Court of Ohio 2:2202 519. They didn't file that. They didn't put a pauper status in. They didn't do anything. They didn't file any motion whatsoever. They didn't complete any type of brief whatsoever. They didn't do anything. There's no litigation research. There's no discovery. There's no nothing. There's no gasoline that they spent going up and down the street to do any fucking thing. They didn't make a copy. They didn't send a fax. They didn't do anything whatsoever. And that's why they had to steal my money. Okay. Now, how many other people have they done this to? It's all lies. Okay. It's grand theft. It's criminal conversion. Um, It's embezzlement and money laundering. Yes, it is. And they're all complicit. Everybody is. It's misprision of a felony. So when are they going to be arrested? And that's what I want to know. And this email was actually in the court record in Franklin County Court of Common Pleas, Columbus, Ohio, 22CV007866, and in the consolidated case 22CV008947, which is April Clark versus Spitz Law Firm. And the clerk of court, Mary Ellen O'Shaughnessy, has made that particular case record actually disappear because when it actually went to appeals, which is the Ohio Court of Appeals 10th District, 23 AP 670, that's Aetna, and then 23 AP 671 is the Spitz. When it went there, um, even though these bitches, Terry Jameson, Julia Dorian, and Christian Boggs was still case fixing, the case fixed for Aetna because also, honey, these people are all in cahoots and collusion with the corporations and businesses. They're being paid off to make cases be fixed of the outcomes to go into their favor because they're all doing all these other types of fraudulent schemes and scams. hmm Yep, they're all in collusion. It's all kinds of stuff. Yep, and that's what they do. So probably they're in cahoots and collusion with Aetna to make sure that Aetna doesn't get in trouble and all this type of shit when they literally breached the MSA settlement agreement and they literally still owe me 15,028 that they knew that all these motherfuckers right here stole and that Brian Spitz and Trisha Breedlove, Grace Schumacher already had my money in their hand during the whole process of the cases. They had their money in hand. The check was actually given to them, the fake fraudulent remittance advice, which is a negotiable instrument on Citibank on November the 7th of 2023, where they pretended to have a business relationship with CVS Health Pharmacy Inc. I don't know who they are, right? So they created a fake business relationship with them and pretended to be their corporate vendor as if they actually contracted with them and rendered them some type of service that warranted CVS Health Pharmacy to pay them 15,000 28 for some type of service, but they've never rendered any services to them whatsoever. That is the money washing part of it. And it did happen and it's true. And Brian Spitz and Trisha Breedlove had already had my money in hand. It was never safeguarded any fucking where. It's stolen property and they still have it in hand to date. And everybody knows it and they're not arrested yet. So Dave Yost knows it, Attorney General. The governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, knows it. His son, who actually ruled in a writ, 202-413, 20, Patrick DeWine, yeah, conflict of interest, nepotism, head ass bitch. Yeah. He knows. U.S. Attorney Kenneth Parker knows. Yep. Algernon Marbley, U.S. District Court of Ohio, former chief, retired now as of September like 7, 2024. Judge knows and knew then, and he got butthurt because he was already covering shit up, and I brought it to the light in the affidavit of disqualification, which you can actually see in all my cases. All right, at the U.S. District Court of Ohio, Southern 2:240254. 2:23 CV 04201, 04202, 04203, 04204, 04205, 04206, 04207, 04208. He enjoined all of those 2 days after, 2 or 3 days after I filed the affidavit of disqualification, which was like May the 10th. So on May the 15th, he deemed me a vexatious litigator. He enjoined all the cases and then said that I must have a attorney, Ohio attorney, look and see if any of my cases have any legal basis. Well, of course, I can't get an Ohio attorney because they're all in cahoots and collusion. It's all fucked up bullshit. And I'm indigent. So how would I be able to do that anyway and pay for it? He knows exactly what he was doing. He did it on purpose. It's in bad faith. It's with malice. It's unconstitutional. And he should be impeached immediately. He should be impeached. He should be arrested. Yeah, and thrown away in prison for the rest of his days. He's 70 years old, so he needs to live the rest of his days out in prison. Yep, and he's still doing it now. So I put another affidavit of disqualification on him because they went on and put all those cases that he enjoined and everything else in a fraudulent bullshit, constitutional right, deprivations under color of law, fuck shit, tyrant, bully, bullshit, dictatorship, authoritarian exercise of extrajudicial activities, ultra vires. They put that with a new case that U.S. District Court, U.S. Court, U.S. Department of Justice Attorney John Stark and U.S. Attorney of the Southern Kenneth Parker removed from the Supreme Court 2024-1601 April Clark versus Carolyn Colvin, who is the commissioner now or standing commissioner for the U.S. Department of Social Security Administration, and her accomplice Kimberly Price, the State of Ohio Administrative Agency director of the disability determination, where they're taking individuals' information and giving it off to people who are lay individual civil service state of Ohio employees at the lowest pay fucking range disability adjudicators who don't have a license, okay, who don't have any credentials, who don't have any clinical experience, who aren't experts. They have no business whatsoever having anybody's medical or mental health record or looking at shit like they're identifying information or nothing that has to do with them. Like Miss Patterson, who won't give you her first and last fucking name as a public employee and a public servant. You must disclose your identity. It's identity theft. They done stole all your information, people, and they've been doing it for fucking years. As I said, my daughter worked there and back in 2017, and they was doing the same fuck shit. Disability adjudicators do not have any right to have any of your goddamn information. So you need to watch that case. Again, it's U.S. District Court of Ohio Southern 2:24 CV4255. They have it listed as a habeas corpus type of prisoner petition. That's fake. That's frivolous. That's the beginning process of their case fixing. It has nothing to do with a motherfucking prisoner, okay? And Algernon Marbley is still in that case. He needs to get the fuck off that case, okay? He needs to recuse or answer the affidavit of disqualification. He must answer affidavit of disqualification. He didn't answer the one that was in the other cases where he deemed me to be vexatious because he's a fucking liar, okay? And he's not answered this one yet. He needs to get off the damn case, all right? So keep an eye on it, public. Algernon Marbley is a criminal. So is Kimberly A. Jolson. So is any and everybody that I've named in any of these cases as a appellee, a respondent, and their counsel of record. A lot of their counsel of record are public officials and prosecutors. Ohio is the epitome of the fuck shit. We'll be back soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh, here, let's see. Yeah, ain't that crazy? Look what he did. Yes, sir. What Richard said, he said, oh, hello, Miss Clark. The Spitz has threatened to file a lawsuit. Oh, that is one, right? A lawsuit against CVS and Aetna, my firm, and both me and my colleague Alex Frondor personally. That's why they came up with it. To fraud. This is filed in the case. Why wouldn't it? Why are they still playing around, y'all? I got all this evidence. I don't know. Yeah, if Aetna sends a 15,000 disputed attorney fee amount to you, they have drafted a lawsuit and have stated that they intend to file it this Monday if an agreement is not reached as to the handling of those funds. I don't have to reach no agreement with nobody. Because I said no, I'm not doing all this. That's why they filed it, honey. They need to go to prison. Yeah. And Alex Frondorf, look him up. He's like a little bird. Little tiny man. He wrote some bullshit because he must be on like Cleveland City Council or some shit like that. Some bullshit talk about how he loved to be outside gardening with his motherfucking partner. Bitch, partner, you better find somebody else. And if I was you, partner, on the sneak, I'll take all y'all money out that goddamn account. Okay? Before it get frozen, motherfucker. And you better hurry up and divorce him because I'm gonna take your assets too, husband. Or whatever the whoever partner. Get out of here, stupid hoes. You ain't gonna be doing no damn gardening in prison. You be lucky to get a cup and put some dirt in it and get any light. Leave me alone. All right, so anyways, I'll be back later. I gotta make a run, y'all friends.